Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Well, you're a player.
And if I'm
You're a player.
I'm not a player, but I can do commercial
No,
law.
Okay.
No, it's,
that was one of the most genuinely funny things you've ever said.
What? Say it again.
Down the bottom of the league against pressure, but also up near the top of the league in turnover-worthy plays in a good way, right? So he's like,
I thought you were going with some positive there.
Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Oh, there's a shock.
Yeah.
Portnoy's on board?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's on board. Yeah.
with this type of
Didn't
stuff,
expect to
it,
win him over.
Mike in the OC. I love to get the panel's grades of the Patriots. Well, I give it an A.
Imagine it with just a sick visor, though. Like
Paul, that would go hard. That's what they say. That would be fire. That goes hard.
add that word from Nelson to your Rolodex, dripping.
Paul dripped before you were even born.
He's not lying.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Tuesday here at Gillette Stadium, but more importantly, we are back to 3 days a week. This is opening week, week one, Raiders on Sunday. We are excited. I mean, if nothing else, going back to 3 days a week, something to celebrate.
There you go.
That's the big news
I
this
agree.
week. Yeah.
Jacked up.
Yep.
Boys all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
So this is it. This is show one of the regular season.
show one, week one.
Raiders.
We are. What do we do? I feel like we need some fanfare.
I know. Well, as a matter of fact, we do
Bam.
have a new song. Matt, I don't know if you
A new
have
song?
the
What?
new song
Oh.
queued up. No, what he's giving. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, it's a brand new PU season. Don't look now, but Paul's pretty slim. Haven't tied the knot, Deuce got a dog. Red's trying to find someone to mow his lawn. And Alex is just reading the stars. Alex is just reading the stars. We got a new host for pre and post game shows. Matt's in the booth making everything go. We're all pretty stoked about Vrabel and May, and everybody's still hating on Christian in LA. Hey, it's a brand new PU season. The past give us something to believe in. We're ready for 3 shows a week. It's been too long, and I hope I get a t-shirt for writing this song.
All right.
Very well,
There we
very
go.
well done.
Oh,
What a way to kick it off, huh?
Very
That was
well done.
Fantastic.
I was seeing a music video, where there's like a lot of like, you turn to the camera and smile, like Paul Perillo.
Right.
and Evan Lazar. And
you have the-
introducing.
you have the football.
right.
Yeah.
Flipping it to each other. Right.
She's got
Good job,
talent,
Jill.
man. She never disappoints.
I know.
That's
That's
good stuff.
Another
Yeah.
banger.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Alex is just looking at the
Look
stars.
at this.
That seems
So,
right.
so Matt, I do think we need to send her a T-shirt. Absolutely, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. You
Better too.
contribute that
See
way.
if she can get that by the end of the season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
earn yourself a
Effort
T-shirt.
that, please.
All right. Well, anyway, it's Evan, it's
He's like,
Paul, it's
"Brr."
Deuce, it's me, it's Matt in the booth, and we're talking Patriots. Any news that we want to get out of the way other than UNC going down last night?
Ouch.
I mean, there's some Patriots news that we haven't discussed on our shows, right?
Sure.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Let's get right into
It's a
it.
significant transaction, I would say, late last week.
Yeah.
Jabrill Peppers
Yeah,
being
it
released.
seems like forever ago.
yeah,
but
it was
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. But
But-
we haven't had a show
Yeah.
since then. Surprised. I thought it was a surprising transaction.
I was surprised.
I
I
was
mean,
surprised.
listen, as of last week, I thought he might be a captain. So
You did say
Yeah.
that. I kind of.
I'm surprised.
I've been nice about it, and I haven't mocked you because I was surprised by it too. I don't want
Yeah.
to be a fraud.
yeah.
I think sometimes you can get blinded by guys who talk like captains and talk like they're speaking for the team before you've really settled the team. And this summer, Jabrill Peppers, that's just how he talks. Like he's been around for a while. He's more a veteran. All summer long when he talked, it was always, what we got to do and how we got to play. And, it seemed like he was getting back on track. And then, I said it before, in Minnesota, it seemed like things kind of went sideways a little bit. He got picked on a little bit in the first joint practice, went up and defended a pass. I think that's why he didn't play in the second practice or the game. Played a lot in that third preseason game. But I'm still surprised, even though we saw his role reduced. I think he's a fiery guy, has that personality you thought might match well with Mike Vrabel. But now we're all trying to figure out why exactly.
Yeah.
And,
And I think, he, at least from his tweet, Peppers, he thinks it was because of scheme for some reason. Vrabel said, well, it's not scheme. We want a lot of players who are versatile. And so, but to me, it's a combination of, yes, I don't want to call it the scheme, but the way they're going to play defense for the most part is different in the past. They don't need the in the box safety as on all 3 downs as they did in the past. They've got 2 guys that fit that description who make decent money. They probably only need 1. They tried to trade Duggars. That didn't happen. So now you've still got 2. You have to decide which one are we going to keep. And I think they decided on Duggars. Obviously, that's if my theory is true.
Well,
that's what they decided on.
I mean, I even question that a little bit because Duggar's wearing a scout team number in yesterday's practice. So if you want to tell me that we're going to get into the game and Duggar's going to play 15, 20, a small defensive role, but has a defensive role, then maybe I could see that. But
that's what I think.
My feeling is Duggar ain't really going to play.
Well, I think that the type of safety that those 2 guys represent has been reduced to a situational role on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get Evan's thoughts on this because I knew we were going to talk about it today, and I was just, thinking, and maybe this is too much of a generalization, but would you say that kind of the in-the-box safety kind of defined what Bill Belichick's defense was? Like, that was, you wanted Patrick Chung making the tackles.
Yeah.
He was the key piece. You hoped that Kyle Duggar was going to, they couldn't get enough of those guys. They're drafting Marty Mapu when they've already, Now, meanwhile, the rest of the league is all going to cover 2 and playing 2 deep shell and that style of defense. So, I know there's a baseline talent that you look at Jabrill Peppers and he seems talented, but I do see that they're getting away from, they want their linebackers to make the plays now. Those are what's going to define this team. Robert Spillane having 150 tackles.
We talked about the front being more aggressive than it has, not so much space eaters, but guys that are going to get upfield. When that happens, if you don't get there, you leave yourself vulnerable. So you have to have that back end safety net, hence the word safety, more so than I think in the past, perhaps. And so they need that other person back there who can, to a certain degree, cover a little bit, at least keep the play in front of them. I think that's all part of it. And then I think money does have something to do with it. I think both Peppers and Duggars are making decent money, and they felt like we could, use that elsewhere. Now, I don't think it should be a factor because the money's already spent. It's not like huge money. They're well under the cap. It's not like they have that's even a factor. But I really do think it's like we don't need both of these guys.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I think they had 2 guys that they saw as redundant, and even going back to the spring, there was signs that they saw the 2 of them as redundant, where they were trying to put Hawkins next to one of them, and then Craig Woodson starts to make a push, and he's next to Duggar or Peppers, and they're trying to find the right combination back there of having more of a true strong and free safety, and not having 2 guys that both really belong closer to the line of scrimmage. So that started happening, I would say, May and June. Like, that's not a new development. And then I also think you have to look at the angle of, well, if we have Duggar and Peppers both here and both of them really aren't playing and one of them really isn't playing, then what does that do in the locker room and the whole hierarchy of the locker room and that whole thing? I do think that they care, especially in year 1 of this entire regime, that's a big factor in all of this as well, even though Vrabel kind of downplayed it amongst other things with the scheme and the fact that all the captains from last year are now gone. He downplayed all those things. But if you have Jabrill Peppers as a 4th string safety, and this guy is getting paid pretty well, has been a captain on this team before, is a voice in the locker room, is a fan favorite, like all these different things, it's hard to have that person in your locker room and still have the right sort of message get across of we're all pulling in the same direction and we all are on board with winning and all that kind of thing. So with those 2 guys, I think they decided they only needed one of them. and it was easier to cut Peppers than it was to cut Duggar from a financial standpoint. So they ended up deciding to cut Peppers.
Yeah.
I just think Vrabel's really done a lot of work over the last few months, just trying to get past the previous regime, and he's moving on with his own guys. And I think this is just a continuation of that.
So May's on the chopping block?
No.
Oh, because he's the previous regime.
Okay. As long as we're going to take it seriously.
Well, I am. I mean, I think you're right. I think
There's
certain.
in my view, there are
Yeah.
maybe 3 more guys that fall into that category that are still here. Keon White, who's fallen down the depth chart. Kyle Duggar, who's fallen down the depth chart. And Mike Onwenu, who's not falling down the depth chart, but makes a lot of money. And I like to use I wouldn't buy green bananas if I were Mike Onwenu. I don't think he'll be here next year. I think this year he probably has to be. But I think they're trying to overhaul the roster with guys that he wants.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a very common tact for a new coach coming in. Culture is important. Style of play is important. I'll take everybody's word for it that this is a style of play thing, but I think it's more about the individuals that were here that have some money he's looking to get past. You know, a little bit older, probably not going to be part of the next title contending Patriots team.
Yeah.
So move on earlier and get your guys.
Yeah. But do you think he would have done that earlier?
I told you I was surprised by the transaction. I don't think it's. I was surprised.
It's also, I don't know that Jalen Hawkins is his guy.
Yeah, he could be next.
Well, I just, like, to be consistent, I thought they were a year away from doing these types of things because of the roster talent and the depth that they have on this team. Like, if you had told me that they were going to move on from the guys Paul's listing out, I'd throw Anthony Jennings, Jelani Tavai in that list as well.
Uche.
If they were to do that in 2026.
Uche left at the trade deadline last year. That's a great Fredism right there.
Uche. I never thought of Uche in a year.
I mean, Brady.
Uche too.
right.
That makes sense. If they had done that next offseason in 2026 because they were bringing in all their own guys, where they were signing another safety that they liked a little bit better, or they were drafting, guys early in the draft to replace those players, I would have said, okay, that makes sense. But now you start stripping away some of the veteran depth that you do have on the roster by cutting a player in Jabrill Peppers that might not be exactly a stylistic fit, but is an NFL player and is a starter in this league. And so now what happens, even if you assume that Craig Woodson and Jalen Hawkins are good, what happens if one of them gets hurt?
Right.
And what happens if you have multiple injuries at safety? Now we're back into a position where it's guys that are fringe practice squad, 4A type
Del
players.
Pettis.
Right. I didn't want to name names,
Well,
Deuce,
that's
but
the next guy up on the depth
So
chart.
I even wonder if maybe they're trying to bake in some versatility with a guy like Alex Austin, who we've seen play in the slot a little
Marcus
bit
Jones, too.
outside. Marcus Jones, same kind of deal.
Yeah.
Marcus Jones was another item of
Captains.
news.
Yeah, we should talk. We'll talk about that in a minute.
They named the captains. Marcus Jones was, I think, most people felt a surprising choice.
He was surprised. He said he was
Yeah,
surprised.
we'll get into the captains, but back to this subject. I was listening to Vrabel on EEI this morning, and they were talking about, Wiggy asked him, were you in on the
Micah
Parsons thing? And he said, not really. We didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. And then he got into, their depth.
Yeah.
I disagree with him there, though, because when you bring in a guy like Micah Parsons, he pushes other guys down to make your depth better.
I think he's talking about the 2 first-round picks.
Correct.
Oh, I
So-
see, in the
so that-
future.
I
Oh,
actually liked his answer.
okay.
on that.
Fair enough.
I'm
Fair
going to
enough.
take his answer at face value, and
Yeah.
I'm going to. I kind of thought it was refreshing that a coach would actually answer it kind of honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we're not really ready for that yet.
Yeah.
We're not far enough along. We need those 2 first-round picks because, as Evan said, that's how you get
Yeah.
depth. That's how you get your players.
But to me, like, it's a little contradictory, though. So, because you're saying you need this depth, but then you're also cutting Jabrill Peppers.
But
So it's like
he doesn't look at it in eighth year for Peppers.
Yeah.
I don't think he looks at an 8-year guy as depth.
future
Now,
depth.
I can make an argument. You guys know we talked about this a little off air, so you guys know I can make an argument the other way if you need me to. But I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to be open-minded about it. He probably looks at it as like, yeah, he's a little older. He makes a little money. Probably not going to be around much longer.
Mm-hmm.
But to Deuce's question,
But if
why
I can
did it
find
take
some
so
depth-
long to do this?
Because I think they were trying to move him.
Yeah, I agree. I think they were trying to trade him, one of him or Duggar.
Right.
And then it didn't happen. And then they decided really early on in spring practices that they weren't going to play Duggar and Peppers together. Like that whole idea of playing the two of them together, they never seemed sold on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it immediately went to, all right, it's one spot for one of those guys, maybe, and then it phased out even more to now we really think that this is like a third safety role instead of a starting safety role. They want the safeties to cover. That's the number one thing. I don't think they want their safeties, to Deuce's point earlier, making the tackles near the line of scrimmage and making the splash plays on the ball. They want their safeties to GTFB. Like that's really what this is about. They want them to cover the deep part of the field. They want them to cover man-to-man sometimes, and they don't want as much of playmaking box safeties. And I think that's he was asked yesterday too about Woodson, and he immediately went to range and athleticism and that type of stuff. Then he was asked about them playing more quarters, and he agreed with the notion that they were going to be playing more quarters and more cover 4 defense. So they want the safeties to be over the top. They want them to be rangy and be able to cover ground and keep the top on the defense. And that's not what either one of those guys is suited to do. It's not a strong suit for either one of those players. So that role reductions, and here we are.
Okay.
Yeah, to me it was because it seemed like they were moving Peppers around a little bit, trying to figure out like what can we do with him. And I think the last place we kind of saw him was like in the slot with the second team. And I mean, I went back to my notes from that first Minnesota practice where it was twice on him in coverage on Hawkinson where he's covering the tight end and can't quite keep up with him. And I just wonder if they were trying to feel it out and see if there is a role for him that we can include into our scheme and maybe use in certain sub packages. But I think the overall body of work over the summer, it felt a little to me like trying to figure it out with him, moving him around, trying to figure out what he can do. And ultimately, maybe in Minnesota, when they saw those couple of days, because that's really, to me, when it really started to go downhill. Nothing against like the injury, which was unfortunate, but I mean, I don't even know if that's the case.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have done this, but at the same time, for multiple years, we've talked about Peppers and Duggar not being great in coverage. Yeah. Whether it's man-to-man or it's zone, like they are known to be guys that are, below average coverage players for their position. So if pass defense and being able to cover is the number one priority at safety, then those are not going to be your types of guys.
Okay. All right. So, Paul, you mentioned captains. They announced 6 of those yesterday. And if you missed it, we actually had Mike Vrabel telling the team before practice yesterday. We had our cameras in the huddle. That was pretty cool. But why don't we list off who those captains are?
Yeah. So
Drake May, Hunter Henry, Robert Spillane, Marcus Jones, Harold Landry, Brendan Schooler.
Yep.
And the game captain too, which I didn't realize until the videos that
that was cool.
Chason will be a game captain
for this game. Yep.
So I assume that's going to rotate.
Yeah.
Because normally Vrabel named 7 captains in Tennessee, so when they did 6, I guess that's a rotating spot.
Yeah. So he mentioned Chason played with the Raiders, so kind of a logical choice to be the game captain.
Spillane too. They were both those guys.
But he's a permanent captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a serious guy. Well, all those guys talked in the locker room yesterday, except Drake, who will talk, I think, Thursday? I think to the media, or is it tomorrow?
Let's just hope that these captains have a better health record than last year.
Amen.
Yeah. Because if these captains go down, it's going to be pretty rough.
Marcus Jones is a captain. You mentioned mild surprise. I thought it was.
Yeah. I not you guys were in the locker room yesterday, and you said he expressed.
He said he was
even
surprised a little bit. Talked about the leadership of Devin McCourty and Matthew Slater as 2 guys that he hopes to model his leadership off of. Vrabel had just had a meeting with them coming to the locker room, just kind of congratulating those guys. But yeah, I was definitely surprised about Marcus Jones, and it's certainly a guy who's going to be in a contract year. He's also in this new scheme. How does he fit into everything? I think there's always kind of a use for him, especially this week with some of these little fast guys that they have. Trey Turner, on the outside. Maybe there's a use for Marcus Jones. We're starting to play the matchups a little bit.
Other news: Forge and Foxboro episode 3 dropped over the weekend. So if you haven't seen it already, there's some pretty cool stuff. Some exclusive footage of that fight back in the first joint practice. Mike Vrabel got some. I didn't even know we had that angle of him jumping into the dog pile. So that was good. Efton Chisholm being told he made the team, things like that. So
That was Paul's highlight.
yeah, unprecedented access. Forge and Foxborough episode 3 on YouTube. Go check it out. Perfect viewing to get you ready for this Raiders game on Sunday.
This is my favorite one out of the 3.
Yeah.
I thought this one had the most original footage, like footage that I had never seen before.
Yeah.
Which was really cool, and I loved like it had the Hard Knocks feels with like Efton Chisholm and Elijah Ponder making the team. I was into this one. It was a good one.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was too. I watched it while I was down the Cape this weekend, and it's just remarkable that it's like a full-on Hard Knocks episode. You know,
Yeah.
like that's always like what the standard was for the summer, and now teams, and we're not the only ones doing it either, but teams are able to just produce this content. I think it's great for the fans. Love getting to see behind the scenes. Jim Whalen, highlighting all the medical advances that we have here in not only Foxborough, but obviously in Boston as well. So I thought that was a good angle. I don't think I've ever heard Jim Whalen actually speak before. This is one of the first times I really
It's funny
heard him
because
talk.
like when I listen to Jim Whalen talk, I detect a Bill Belichick when he says, by 2:30 we can know. It's, like that's I could hear that coming out of Bill's mouth.
Mid-Atlantic
You work with a guy
time.
for all that time, you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
pick up on things.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jim's a really nice guy. You've heard
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
talk before. We've talked
I've
to him.
never been injured, Evan. I don't know.
We've talked to him at the
You've
combine.
never been injured? No.
I didn't
Yeah.
talk to him with the combine.
In the airport.
I don't get no. Oh, he was there. I don't think it was. Talk to
He's-
me.
You're
Want to
standing
get a
right
pretzel?
Nice guy.
He is.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
I always like seeing him on the plane back from the combine. When
yeah.
he's in first class and I'm going back
We're
with the
with the
steerage.
steerage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, how
Such
you
an
doing?
interesting job to me. Like, 'cause you're just not that you're waiting for guys to get hurt. I know there's like elements of rehab and stuff, but it's just got to be hard to like a normal doctor has a bunch of patients and sometimes people come in and get sick and get hurt, whatever. But like he has like he's like a shepherd for like 53 dudes or even more. I guess 65 dudes, whatever it might be. And at any moment, one of these guys could have a major injury, and he knows he's going to be there and have to take care of these guys. It's just such a unique position, especially for how long has he done it? I mean, he's been here forever, right?
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, I think it's cool to see too, like all the preventative care
Mm-hmm.
that goes in, like the taping and like all that stuff that goes into try to get them even ready for practice. Like the amount of guys that go into that
A lot
room
of tape
Wow.
and
Right.
wrap.
to get their ankles taped, their wrists taped.
There's a lot. And they're just
Yeah.
putting
You
You could
literally
go to
right
the
on
moon
there.
and back, Paul. The amount of tape that they use.
The offensive
the
linemen always
pre-wrap.
tape their hands, right? Like, so it's just all that stuff goes on before they even hit the practice
Ice
field.
bags. A lot of ice bags.
Yeah.
too.
A lot of ice.
A
A lot of ice.
Gotta have ice machines.
Yeah.
Gotta be running.
All right, what else? So we got
What else?
Peppers. We've got captains.
I got a couple of things, Fred, just to throw out there. A couple
Okay.
interesting nuggets from your old pal Deuce. I thought it was interesting. They've added 3 defensive linemen, 2 practice squad guys, Fabian Levitt, Corey Durden, and as well as Eric Gregory, who's a rookie, a little bit bigger guy, and as well as yesterday they added Brendan James, the center. Has some experience. Hymus. Silent J. I like that. But those to me indicate maybe some positions where they feel like they need a little more. I had said last show, it's interesting they've kept all these undrafted guys that they have, and a lot of those guys are gone now. They're down to 2 guys they drafted and 4 guys that were undrafted rookies, and otherwise they brought in a bunch of veterans. So I just wonder if Hymus or this guy Eric Gregory, who's got a little more size. We talked about some of the run defense stuff. If maybe some of these guys are more like their guys, or it's adding some depth you might not expect, and suddenly we might get into the game and people are going to, who's 55 on the defensive line, and this
Willie
rookie's up
McGinnis.
there, yeah. I hope he plays like
There's
Willie
the
McGinnis.
practice squads had significant turnover already. I mean, I can't remember them having this much practice squad turnover. They basically flipped half the practice squad at this point from what it started
Before
with.
they played a game.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
interesting.
It's a significant amount, and obviously you don't know when guys are going to become available from other teams and things like that. But Gregory's an interesting player, like their typical, one technique, shaded nose tackle, can control gaps, can penetrate the line on stunts and things like that. He had some good tape in the preseason, and I know the Bengals fans did not want to see him get poached when they cut him, so they were all pretty disappointed that he got claimed by the Patriots. And Vrabel said yesterday that they had a draftable grade on him in the draft and were competing with Cincinnati in undrafted free agency for him, and they lost out in undrafted free agency. So maybe not a throwaway, as Deuce kind of laid out. I think that could be somebody that sticks around.
Yeah, I throw Mark Robinson in there, who Pittsburgh fans were kind of a little bit bummed out to see. Just, a guy they had since 2022, a lot of special teams for them. So some of these veterans are coming in. I think they might end up on the game day roster, maybe having a role that it's always weird when you spend all off season watching the same group of guys and all through training camp, and then all of a sudden week one there's like a guy you've never even seen out there.
And I know when they make the original 53 that it's always in flux, but I've been a little surprised with just how much in flux the whole thing. Even the 69, like Evan pointed out with the practice squad, and just the amount of change before they've even played a game has been a little bit surprising.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get into the game, and you have the depth chart in front of you.
This one's filled out. Like North
So
Carolina.
is this your depth chart?
This is mine. I like to keep it myself.
So what do you have? Who do you have playing left guard to start the Raiders game?
Jared Wilson.
You have Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Is that okay?
And you have
I have no idea.
no.
But if I had to make a guess, I would take Wilson.
And you have Ben Jones. What's his
Ben
name?
Brown is the
Ben
back.
Brown. I'm thinking of the other.
Garrett Bradbury.
Ben Jones is a
Garrett
former Vrabel safety center, though.
I know.
Yeah,
he
right,
was.
John.
Out of Georgia.
I remember Ben
Like a
Jones.
really,
I have a good story about him. But anyway,
Very tight with Vrabel. Big
Yeah.
Captain. Anyways.
But I have Garrett Bradbury with Ben Brown, but then also
so which
Brendan
one do you have starting at center?
Bradbury.
Bradbury.
I would
Okay.
agree.
Yep, I got him atop.
Okay.
I think that's the list. But even bringing in Highness, like, to me, it signals they're still really trying to figure it out at that position, and he has some guard versatility too. So if maybe it doesn't go great with Wilson, maybe he's an option there as well. So these moves just signal to me where they think they're light and where they need to add some depth, especially the veteran guys.
So what's your personnel to start this game? Patriots come out 1st and 10, 35 probably. What's your personnel?
35.
I'm gonna go 11 personnel
position.
with Ramondre and Hunter
touchback,
Henry and Diggs, Douglas, and Booty.
Say that again?
Diggs, Douglas, Booty, Hunter, Ramondre.
Diggs, Douglas.
I'm going to replace Booty
Hunter.
with Mac Hollins.
Matt
I'm
Collins.
going to replace Booty and Matt Collins with Jack Westover because I guarantee
Are we going
1st and 10 from the 35 is 21 personnel with the fullback in
So
the
this isn't
backfield.
this is
I
another
can
one, though.
promise you
This
that.
isn't like with all the changes, very subtle, small thing, but they've officially listed Westover as a fullback.
Yeah,
on
he
the
changed his
roster.
number to
And his-
37.
he's now 37
Yeah.
fullback number.
Got off that 87 thing.
Oh,
probably.
you're if they're going lead ISO right up the middle
Right.
on the first play of the
We
season.
should go talk to him in the locker room. I feel
I'll
like
take my
he's-
time getting out of the food buffet if we win the toss. I won't need to see the first play.
Yeah.
I'll come back for 2nd and 9.
He's one Westover I was biding my time a little bit on, but I don't think anyone's really talked about him, and I don't know for sure if he's going to really actually play. I mean, Evan, you want to run right into Landon Roberts first down, sure, but
Absolutely.
I don't know. He's an interesting
Landon
story.
Roberts.
We're coming at you, baby.
Right.
That's
right.
what that tells everybody.
Yeah, we'll get
I
him in the
know,
locker room this week.
that doesn't matter to Paul, but
No, I just thought it was interesting that they went out of their way to officially make that move on the
Yeah.
roster. Like,
Yeah.
no, he's not a tight end. He's a fullback.
Yeah.
I'm
he
like-
doesn't really look like a fullback.
it doesn't look like a fullback to me too. But the one thing I am a little bit interested in is like he probably can catch passes a little bit more than like a Jakob Johnson or
Landon
a James
Roberts
Devlin or
when he was playing.
Landon Roberts caught a
Fullback.
touchdown pass, Deuce. But
On a trick play.
but the tight end background, maybe he does have a little bit more juice as a receiver where they can do some fun things with him in that respect that maybe they wouldn't be able to do with like a Devlin style fullback. So I'm not saying he's going to catch 100 passes.
I'll throw you a
but-
bone here, Ev, okay? Because I'm nothing if not fair.
Yeah.
I can live with the whole fullback thing if this is the way it is. Like, I'm going to take a third tight end and make him a fullback as opposed to what Evan was describing before, just like this bulldozer who just drops his head and runs into a wall.
Right.
This guy, he as a tight end by trade, he should be able to get out and catch a pass or two for you if you need be. He should be able to block. He's got some mobility. He's not just an offensive lineman playing in the backfield. If that's the way you want to use a fullback,
Okay.
I can live with that.
Well, you lead him up to the second level, Paul, and then once the linebacker starts to bite on it, then you run leak and you just run him right by the linebacker.
Wide
and
open.
He's
Right.
wide open.
And
Wide
you,
open.
You run leak with Jakob
Touchdown.
Johnson, and this doesn't do you any good.
There you go.
Stevenson's your starting running back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Hang
so
on to the
then,
ball.
after the Patriots go the length of the field for 7, and they come out on
They
defense.
didn't go for 2. Why not go for 2?
Nah,
It's a new
we
era.
don't need to do that.
It's a new era. 8-0. Okay, go ahead.
Starting front 7 for the Patriots. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Take it away, Deuce.
Barmore, Tonga, Williams, Chase on and Landry on the edges.
Or going
Spillane and
3-4.
Ellis.
So you have Tonga starting.
I'm with you. That would be my front 7.
Yeah,
to
and
start.
then Alex Austin and Carlton.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you went
base.
3-4.
We're going base. We're going base.
Well,
to
that's
start.
base.
Well, it's
Just going
3-4.
Well, I don't know.
But that's
I think-
based on what we saw every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, except for when Tavai got hurt. And Tavai's basically missed all of camp.
I thought they were going to be a 4-3 team.
I think they are. But it could be both.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's a 5-man front that he just listed. That's an odd
Yeah,
one.
but I understand what your point is. You can
Yeah.
look at those guys on the edges as linebackers. You can look at them as ends. However you describe them is gonna.
Yeah.
I think it's who. So let's take Chase on out. Right? You're gonna say Chase on's a
No.
passing down guy?
No.
Tonga.
No.
No.
Tonga.
I would expect you have Williams, Barmore inside, Chase on,
Yeah.
Landry outside.
So
Or
Tonga's
down.
out.
Well, see, to me it
Yeah,
depends
pull
on.
Tonga and put Marcus Jones in.
But this is all about, and this is why coaches sometimes bristle at like these depth chart things.
I know.
So
And calling
if
you-
Tennessee
yeah.
does the Evan thing, I'm sorry, if Las Vegas does the Evan thing, and they come out and it's Genty with a fullback in front of them, and then Tonga's going to be in the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
That's
if they come out with Trey Tucker on one side and Jacoby Myers in the slot and Bowers and maybe Meyer, like whatever, and they have like 4 wide, then maybe Tonga's probably not going to be in the game.
Yep. That's fair.
Yeah. I
You know what I mean? If they look like they're going to run the ball on first down, Tonga's going to be on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a simple way to think of it is just Tonga out, Marcus Jones in maybe, but there's only so many guys that I really think are going to play. I think I could see Keon White getting some snaps, but after that, all those guys I named, I think that's kind of the rotation.
Yep.
There's like 13 guys maybe. It's not
Really?
like I'm not expecting
Not a lot of personnel on defense for
I
you.
mean,
I think on the D line there will be because like Keon White's gonna
You'll
get
get-
some
give
snaps.
Farm-
Especially early in the
Farms
year,
and
you're going to
snaps
see
and
farms. You
some
probably you
rotation,
might even
but-
see some of the younger guys.
Yeah.
because usually you rotate a lot of bodies up front.
That's
early
fair.
in the season.
I guess I'm more concerned with get down to brass tacks and when the game's on the line, who are the real guys? I get trying to get Jeremiah Farm some snaps and get Joshua Farmer some work and start to see what you have in some of these guys. Probably Duggar rotationally a little bit, but that's kind of the core 13 I see. And
So let's talk about Gonzo for a second. Is there any chance that there's a little subterfuge going on the part of Mike Vrabel? Like, I'm not going to play my cards. No?
No, I don't know.
I don't think
I
there's
didn't think
any
of it that way.
subterfuge. I'm not going to tell you there's no chance that he'll play. I think there's a chance he'll play,
Yeah.
but I don't think this is a ruse.
Okay.
He doesn't seem like he has time for that. Like sometimes with some of these ruses and subterfuge,
You
it felt
waste
like
more
it's more
time and
effort
energy.
and energy going into trying to pull it off than like the other team. Like, they're probably still preparing like Gonzalez could play. I just think it's Bowers to me that I'm more concerned about him and how does Gonzalez not being there affect the trickle down of what their game plan is going to look like dealing with Bowers.
Yeah, I just wonder. Vrabel yesterday kind of started to say that it's taken longer than expected and then sort of caught himself and pivoted his answer a little bit. It's a soft tissue thing. You guys have been on it. Like those things are tricky and it one day it could feel better and the next day it doesn't. So to me, it looks like they were expecting him to be back maybe a little bit sooner than this, but it's just not ready yet. And so it's better to be safe than sorry and play the long game here. But I'm more worried about, not to look ahead, but like week 2 in Miami is more worrisome without Gonzo than this week against the Raiders. I think they can get by this week without him if it comes
Speed
to
isn't
it.
as much a factor this week.
An outside receiver,
Yeah.
In particular, like Dante Thornton, I guess has had a nice camp for them. He was drafted, from Tennessee, speed receiver. But I overall like that's Trey Tucker is a nice slot receiver, kind of like their Pop Douglas. We obviously know about Jacoby Myers, but besides that, it's not a star-studded receiving corpse. It's
Early
Bowers.
line, Paul,
I believe the Patriots are favored by 2.5.
2.5.
2.5,
So
as you
they're
like
down
to say.
by a half.
2.5,
Here we go.
as you like to say.
So they're
The disrespect.
Usually,
So
they
now
have
you're going to
3.
make them really underdogs?
Yeah, by
You're
a
gonna
half a
make it-
point.
You're going to make it out to be like, we shocked the world. if
that's
Patriots
right.
win.
That's right.
I figured.
Yeah.
Nobody believed.
Yeah.
That's Thursday show. Don't spoil it.
Okay. Early weather report.
Supposed to be
pretty nice.
really,
Partly
real,
cloudy.
real
and
nice, Clark.
mid-70s look gorgeous.
Sunday at 1.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
When every game should be played.
I also agree
Apparently,
with
that's
you.
when practices are happening now too. It seems like, which kind of makes sense to me, that you would practice roughly when you play. In the past, teams have practiced in the morning, but it seems like these guys are 1:30 to 3:30 is going to be their Wednesday, Thursday practice schedule.
Yeah.
Now. A little
How do you
different.
feel about that? You like that? Does that fit your schedule?
Not
No.
great.
No,
No, not
you
great.
don't like that.
Not great, Bob.
No, it is what it is. I mean, you just gotta roll with it, be flexible. They gotta do what they gotta do. I just understand the philosophy of it though, that you want to get guys used to
Your body.
about
clock.
1 o'clock. That's time to go, and if you're practicing at 10, I mean, it's a subtle thing, but
I
believe
just
in that kind of
wonder,
stuff.
in terms of their work that they have to do in meetings, film study, all that kind of stuff, how you divide that up during the course of the day, what's most advantageous? Because it seems like, we haven't had a tremendous amount of coaches here. It was Pete Carroll for 1 year for me, then all those years of Bill,
Yeah.
then Mayo for a year. But it seems like everybody has a different
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And even Bill changed periodically.
Yeah, it's
throughout
just a
his
matter of like
tenure.
when you want your film review to happen and all that. I think it makes sense because you have the morning to look at yesterday's practice. What are we going to fix? What are we going to do today? So you have all the morning to do that. Then you go do it.
Yeah, in the past, Bill would do it the night before.
Right.
After practice, they would break down the film and then go over the script for the next day, and then they come back in the morning and practice.
Right.
Whereas this is all the morning, I'm sure, is going to be what we're going to do at practice, the corrections from the day before, and then right into practice.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I do it this way because
You
I
would.
feel like
Yeah.
then they go home, they go to in their personal lives, they go to sleep. There's a lot of time that passes between when they talked about your third step was off on that route break and them actually getting back on the field the next day and doing it live. So this way there, it all happens kind of at one swoop.
Yeah. It's also be a little different on Fridays. I don't know if the schedule is going to keep, but in the past we've had like coach before practice. Now it's going to be coach after practice. So Evan usually does a write-up based on who practices on Friday, who might not be there. So you'll get to talk directly to Vrabel if Gonzo doesn't practice Friday and all signs are pointing to no. You'll get to ask him about it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the table. It has been set. Getting ready for the Raiders on Sunday. 3 days a week for the Patriots, for Patriots Unfiltered. It's that really signifies the start of the
Back to
season. is when
Wednesdays.
we go to 3 days a week.
That's what everybody says.
That's right.
It's just so nice to have things to talk about. Like you get to this point where like in the off season where you feel like you've just unloaded the clip on every topic that there is. And now you go 4 days without a show and there's, a solid 40 minutes worth of things to discuss. And it'll only get better as the NFL season unfolds.
All right.
Hopefully.
855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcasts at Patriots.com is the way to email us. So let's get to the phones and we'll see who has what to say. We'll start with who else? Christian in LA. What's up?
Hey, you guys. Hey, a week to count down, and here we go. I'm really excited about the season. Two things. One, are you guys at all worried that you haven't really heard any stellar comments about Drake May's play at practice? I just haven't heard, May is looking like, the next great thing. He's making these great throws downfield, blah, blah, blah. I guess I've heard he's comfortable in the pocket, and I guess that has to be enough. And so I'm a little bit leery about that. Secondly, can you guys give me at least your first 3 plays? I have Ramondre Stevenson up the middle, Trayvon Henderson, probably a toss out, and then something up the seam to the tight end.
Okay.
I'll take it off the air.
All right, thanks. So on the first question, we don't really get to see practice anymore. The good stuff. So it's hard for anyone in the media to say, "Oh, he's been looking good in practice."
Well, I would say that the 2 or 3 practices we saw that were closed and we weren't really allowed to write extensively about that. I thought there were a couple of Drake's best practices, but I would just say overall he's been good, but there've been definitely moments of inconsistency with him all summer long. And I think that's.
So we're not
going
going to be able to see any practices this week.
No, not to like make excuses for him, but I wouldn't say that there's a ton of correlation between how some of these players look in practice and then when we get to the season.
Especially those practices that they weren't even in pads.
Right, like I don't know. I've seen it go both ways, where guys have amazing training camps and then all of a sudden the season rolls around and they're not even to be heard from.
I mean, I think Mike hit it when we just started talking about this. Like, we can hammer all of these points that we see in practice home all day long, and now the season's here. We're going to get a chance to get, a sample size of what it looks like in real action. One of the things that I've really been focused on is how many times I watch and I say, like, there was pressure quickly, but would that have been pressure leading to a sack or a throwaway, or would that be a play that Drake May can get off platform and make a play? And you don't know that until it's a real game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
And as far as which plays are going to have, I mean, play 2 will be dictated by how well play 1 works. Play 1 will be Hunter Henry over the middle. So
I'm going to say it's going to be a little an easy completion. Maybe getting someone, maybe a quick hitter.
Westover in the flat.
Well, not Westover,
Okay.
but maybe even something to Diggs real quick,
Get him
or Douglas real quick.
Yeah.
Just to get Drake May settled right, because that's been kind of an under.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's been a little bit of an overblown topic, like how Drake May had mentioned he's a little jacked up at the beginning again. Now everybody's running away with this. How do we settle Drake May down at the beginning? I mean, like, it's a very common quarterback problem. Yeah. And by the way, one that even Tom Brady had.
The greatest of all time.
I thought you were going to say you at Everett.
No,
you'd have some
like
nerves.
Brady used to be a little bit hot,
If anything, they needed Paul to get more excited.
Didn't he not score a touchdown in the first quarter of a Super Bowl until Tampa? Right, like it was like 9 straight Super Bowls without.
They were scoreless in the first.
Yeah, because they were.
Of all of his Patriots Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill.
All of them.
Thanks, Bill. I like that. That was well done, Mike.
I wonder if
working on it.
I was listening to someone talk about this. I don't know who, but Josh Allen used to like advocate for running the ball. Like him physically running the ball.
Oh, yeah. I want to say Boomer Esiason said that this morning. I heard that
lit up. Let me get lit up, Coach.
And he would go to Brian.
Ask Brian Dable.
Yeah,
get me lit up.
Let me run it. Let me get into the game. Let me get hit.
I need to get hit.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe one way to help.
A lot of players say that, you don't really feel you're into the game until you get that, you either give or get that first hit.
But I just wonder if they'll give him, something really quick and easy completion.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if you didn't see an early screen in the game. I mean, you're not necessarily going to get one on 1st and 10 of the season.
Right.
It's not really a great screen time, but I wouldn't be surprised.
They're going to
stuff like
establish their
that.
own.
Yeah, I don't know when it would come.
And I think they're going to be predominantly running early in the game. I just mean like one
very
quick
first play, lead ISO right up the middle.
Yeah, given what we know
Second and
about
10.
Landon Roberts, like getting him lined
Drake.
up on Travian Henderson. You see Travian Henderson split out wide to see if it's man, and like you see a Landon Roberts go with him, I'd be like, alert! I think Landon Roberts great coming downhill. I don't need to run head
double
on
move
him,
out
but
there.
Get him in coverage. That's what I think Josh is probably. That's the new special sauce for this offense. Is maybe he didn't quite expect what he was going to be able to do with Henderson, but I imagine right now he's cooking in the lab.
And I
with
think
him.
if you're the Raiders, you want to rattle May early. You want to get him thinking about our pressure right away.
Yeah. I just say
So if I'm McDaniels, I would expect them to want to do that. So like Paul said, get it out of his hands quickly. Don't let them do that early.
Yeah, I'd look at the offensive line, the left side of the offensive line. If it's 2 rookies, trying to get pressure. Adam Butler's always been a good pass rusher. Obviously, Max Crosby is excellent, but trying to get pressure with 3 or 4 guys and make May read coverage, drop guys into zone, so he's not going to be as much of a threat with his feet. And if you can give those rookies hell with Max Crosby and you're able to get pressure with just him, with those guys, maybe run some stunts, then I think that's the most direct way to get New England's offense off balance. So those young guys, I mean, they get rattled early. I mean, they've both been really calm and steady. We know from our perspective, but an opponent might look at that saying, "Hey, 2 rookies, put Max over them. Let's get them rattled early."
It's a really interesting chess match on both sides because Max Crosby usually rushes over the right tackle. So for him to flip sides is a game plan wrinkle
Right.
for the Raiders. And then from the Patriots' point of view, I think rightfully so, the staff last year got a lot of heat for not having game plans for pass rushers. And you face a guy like Max Crosby, you can't just expect Will Campbell to block him one-on-one 20 times. You have to get, you have to help, you have to chip, you have to move the pocket, you have to double team, you have to do different things. So from a McDaniels, Doug Marrone standpoint, this is a really trial by fire from a game plan perspective of how are you going to handle a pass rusher like Max Crosby that can really take over the game.
I remember several games where whether it was J.J. Watt or Clay Matthews, Bill would go into the game saying, we're going to take that guy away. We're not going to let him ruin the game. And most of the time they were at least successful in doing that,
It would be disappointing to me if we are on here next Tuesday and Max Crosby just had, 10 pressures and a couple sacks and that. Those are the types of things that good coaching staffs avoid. This is the one guy that can't beat us.
Right.
So what can we do to make sure that he doesn't beat you?
And say the same thing about Bowers on the other side of the ball, right?
Exactly.
If you go on and he has 12 catches and 2 touchdowns, it's such a unique Raiders
I'd be
team,
more surprised that happened to Bowers than I would be if Max Crosby has a good game.
Yeah, me too.
It wouldn't surprise me at all to see him have a couple of sacks.
But how do
Kuntz
they
is a pretty
game
good
plan
player,
it? I
too.
think is interesting.
No, I agree with you. I think that they will try very hard to game plan it out. I just think that Tom Brady had so much to do with those shutdowns of J.J. Watt and Joey Bosa and all those other guys that they saw over the years.
Getting the ball out too quick, man. I can't get to you.
Yep.
You can't just ignore it, right?
I think you're
the
right. I think they'll
staff
game
last
plan for
year
it.
did that, and they just kind of ran their plays and just expected guys to hold up and all that kind of thing. And if whether it's getting the ball out of Drake's hands quickly, whether it's chipping him on third downs when they have to drop back a little bit longer, moving the pocket away from him is. If he's over there, Drake May is running the other direction. Those types of things that's I hope that we're going to see that this year because that's how the coaching staff can really elevate the talent.
Yeah, and I offensively, the reason I feel they do have 2,000-yard receivers coming back. Now, I don't think Jacoby Myers is a great receiver. I think he's good. I think he's a good player. I wish that the Patriots never let him go in the first place, as you guys know. Their numbers are very similar. I mean, talking about a difference of about, 15 catches? 20 catches in, less than 100 yards. So Jacoby Myers, if they want to just double and do everything they can to take out Bowers, I think Geno Smith is a veteran enough quarterback to have the experience to say, okay, I'll just let this guy, do it. But with Crosby, I just think he's so much more talented than, in large part, the guys that are going to be blocking him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll make plays.
Yeah.
Well, shouldn't be blocking them by themselves.
No, they won't be.
Yeah.
But you're saying he'll beat the double
I think
team.
he's seen a double team in the past. Let's put it that way.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's seen his share of double team.
You know what's really interesting is because he's feisty. He loves a little extra business, talking crap. I remember, one of the Hard Knocks, but their team was preparing for them, and they were literally having their practice squad guys be annoying like Max Crosby is, like Will Campbell's attitude. I don't think he's going to be putting up with that. But it's also that's a way to get rookies off their game. If Max Crosby's in their ear talking crap and Will Campbell's reacting more to him than he is on the game plan. So it's just something to watch.
And if
be
Josh,
some extra business
you could, to Evan's point, if you want to come out and be physical and run the ball, that's a great way to neutralize pass rushers and keep them on the heels, get them up, get them upfield a little bit, and maybe see if you can crease them.
Yeah.
But
wham.
This would be about McDaniels and whatever the game plan is going to be in the passing game has got to be quick. right? You can't expect to have typical Drake May plays where he's surveying the field, looking to drive the ball downfield and taking time, because I don't care if it's a double team. He's going to get there. He's going to. And Malcolm Kuntz isn't bad. He's not Max Crosby.
Yeah.
He's not even close to Max Crosby.
But he gets his share.
But he had 8 sacks last
He
year,
gets
which
his
is not
share.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had 8 last year.
No, he tore his ACL last year.
Oh, okay.
That was Chazon last
Oh,
year.
okay.
But yeah, they've been
yeah,
chipping
I'm sorry.
the ends a ton in practice, in the practices that we were seeing. And even that, like, yeah, he's still going to get there, but at least it gives Drake May that half a beat to scan the field a little bit. If it's 3rd and 8 and they know they have to drop back pass, if you can chip the ends, then at least it gives them a little time. But I think the Bowers thing, I assume that they're going to probably bracket Bowers or something like that.
Me too.
That's where not having Gonzo can hurt you, because Gonzo's going to be one-on-one against Jacoby Myers in that scenario. And that is a matchup that I think you can live with. But if it's Alex Austin or if it's Marcus Jones one-on-one against Jacoby Myers, then that's a downgrade.
I'm
there.
hoping Vrabel's playing a little cat and mouse, but probably not.
I mean,
Let's just, for argument's sake, and I'm not, please don't, we're not getting in an argument about this.
Oh, yes, you are.
Would it make sense to you to not have him practice? So this is going to be about 35 days.
Right.
So let's say he's been practicing the last couple.
Yeah.
So he went 30 days without practicing, and then it was part of a ruse to not have him practice for 30 days and have him practice the last 5.
It's like Vrabel knows more chance than not he's going to play, but I don't need to tell anybody yet.
No. There might be that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a good ruse.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be better if you just said, no. He's been practicing the last 2 weeks and he's up to speed.
Well, I don't think I'm saying he hasn't been practicing the last 2 weeks. He hasn't been practicing.
Okay, then
yeah.
What's the sense of doing a ruse if he's not practicing?
Oh, because you know he's close to being
like
ready.
Mike said, like, if I'm Pete Carroll right now, I'm fully anticipating Christian Gonzalez being at corner on Sunday. If he's not, that makes your job easier.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
But I think it was July 28th was the day he got hurt in practice.
Yeah, it was
so we're talking like
first day of pads.
35 plus days that he's going to go without practicing.
I know.
I'm more worried about it from a
unless he's there
conditioning
tomorrow.
standpoint. Like, I'm not worried about Gonzo being Gonzo, but
absolutely.
conditioning is the problem, right? Like, can he? There's no chance he can play 70 snaps on Sunday.
That's my whole point.
Yeah.
Like, why would you go out of your way to, and I misunderstood what Fred's part of the ruse was. Like, why would you go out of your way to have him not be ready to play?
Yeah.
Just so the other team doesn't know he's not playing.
Yeah.
I'd just say, generally speaking, and it goes back a little bit to the Peppers thing, based on the joint practices, I'm so curious how they're going to deal with tight ends all season long with this defense. And Bowers is unique, and Evan's been the one to say it's more about the average tight ends, the guys that are sneaky.
Because this guy's a wide receiver.
Right,
Let's call him what he is.
Right. So you're going to get attention with him, and it'll be probably a special game plan. But week in, week out, is Christian Ellis your tight end eraser? You know what I mean? Like, there's not really. Is it going to be Craig Woodson? Like, it's questions.
Yeah.
And there's good tight ends across the league.
I just wonder, like, to me, how game plan oriented are they actually going to be? Like, we knew with Bill that Bill was going to have something for Brock Bowers. And I expect Vrabel to have something for Brock Bowers too, but Belichick had a lot of really creative double teams and brackets and calls within the structure of the defense that they would run against these types of players. Like, when they would face a Bowers level type of
like
player.
Travis Kelce. There were times where Travis Kelce was taken out. Now, it was at the expense of giving up 35 to everybody else, but he did nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that Bill treated Kelce as a wide receiver, not a tight end.
Certainly towards the end.
And I think that's the way they'll look at Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, that AFC Championship game, they had corners on Kelce the entire game. It was J.C. Jackson, a little bit of Stephon Gilmore. So they treated him like a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan's in New Hampshire. What's up, Nathan?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
So I got a question about the quarterbacks. So last season, the quarterbacks took 1,091 snaps, and I'm curious what your guys' take on how many snaps each quarterback will take Drake May, Joshua Dobbs, and Tommy DeVito this year if there's 1,000 snaps. So what percent or what number will each of them take? Or How many will any unknown quarterback that we don't know of at this point, if something happens and they bring in another
We're heading into week one. That's a really uplifting question.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're talking if May gets injured.
How many games is Drake May going to be hurt for?
Right. Yeah.
Can I go in thinking that he's going to play 17 games? And can you let me have that little fantasy?
Yeah, so 99.9%.
Yeah. Yeah, just kneel down.
Kneel down. Couple of kneel downs.
Garbage time, Dobbs. They're going to be up 45-0.
Yeah.
So,
can we do that?
Throw him out there a couple times and mop up duty.
But kind of makes me think, does Tommy DeVito end up winning the number 2 job?
I think it's possible. I do. Stylistically, I just think he's a little bit more of a fit.
Would you know in practice? Like, could you tell from what we'll see in practice? Or would it have to be like, oh, DeVito's going in here. The Patriots are up 20 in the fourth quarter. It's DeVito going in now.
Well, I would think like on the game day actives, right? Like, because the emergency quarterback is the third string quarterback. So typically,
Dobbs.
So if he all of a sudden Dobbs becomes the emergency quarterback,
that's your write up, Ev. That's your
roster. Personally, I don't think much of that.
Like the Paisan.
Let's go to Providence. Randy's there. What's up, Randy?
Hey, guys. How's it going today?
Good.
Great.
So I was calling because on a lot of the sports radio shows and stuff, you hear about, prep for the game and people talking about Max Crosby versus Will Campbell. And I just don't. Max Crosby usually lines up over the right tackle. And
your connection stinks, Randy. I'm sorry.
Randy,
we've talked about that.
You got to get off the speakerphone.
He's right, though. It's kind of something that's starting to annoy me.
What?
Ball knower, Everybody's like, oh, like Crosby against Will Campbell. I'm like, okay, well, Crosby likes to rush over the other side.
Right.
So, and there's a lot of guys like Crosby. T.J. Watt is another one that typically rushes over the right tackle. Von Miller historically likes rushing over the right tackle. I was actually talking about Morgan Moses about it. I was like, why do you think that is? Like, why do you think?
I think it's because your turn foot is your right foot, and they're more dominant.
Yeah. I don't know what it is that is the reason, but 85% of the time, Max Crosby's over the right tackle. Now, they could say Campbell's a rookie in his first NFL game, and we're going to test him. I'm not saying they couldn't.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Crosby wants to rush over the right tackle, then I'm letting Crosby rush where he wants to rush.
Right, wherever he would feel more comfortable. But I'll throw this to Evan. I'll throw Evan the ball knower bone. Why do you think more elite pass rushers don't do it that way? Because wouldn't you think, and I know this is a little less than it used to be, but wouldn't you think the easier matchup oftentimes is the right tackle?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What do you mean by easier matchup? Just like
generally the left tackle is a better player than the right tackle.
So
it's tougher to beat on the pass rush.
Right. So you'd go against the lesser player on the right side.
Which is a lot of people used to criticize.
Maybe.
Old friend Brian Morey used to criticize the guys that predominantly ran on because they didn't want to face the left tackle.
Right.
Yeah, you want to get sacked.
There's also the old thing, which I don't even know if this is true anymore. The teams like to run right more. Like that's more. The left side's going to be your blind side pass protector, and your right side's a little bit more your mauler. I know it doesn't always work out that way, but traditionally that's been the case. That if you're on that side of the line,
you want your best pass rusher coming off the blind side.
Yeah, and you want your edge setter and your guy who's going to be tough against. I mean, I know that's Max Crosby too, but usually that guy's going to get stuck setting the edge.
You just see it a lot more now with the premier pass rushers that a lot of guys prefer rushing over the right side. It's a really interesting question that I wish that I had Max Crosby to ask him.
Yeah, I would also say that, and this is completely anecdotal. I have none of Evan's stats to back this up, but I feel like I've seen more in the last couple of years, maybe even longer than that, more quote unquote blindside hits from coming off the right side where the quarterback just doesn't see him. Because he's fixated on the other side, and it's even though it's coming to the front side. Do you remember the play that you probably don't? Evan might. Anthony Richardson in the preseason.
Yeah, well, that was
he missed the guy that was
hit him right.
But it was a front side, blind side hit. And I feel like I've seen more of those in the last couple of years than I ever remember seeing before.
Yeah, I mean, that one he was hot to the right side and he didn't see the blitzer coming.
Yeah.
So, he thought he was. I think a lot of times with quarterbacks, when they get blindsided, it's because they think that they have the numbers to the side. So they're not expecting the guy to win as quickly as he does because they think that they have the hat on the hat to that side. In Richardson's case, he did not have head on head.
All right, time for a break.
had a hat on his
We've
wrist.
said a lot. When we come back, more calls and emails on this work week. And speaking of work, Brunt Workwear makes work boots and apparel that are built for the job site, and they're the official sponsor of the New England Patriots and the Gillette Stadium crew, the field crew. Their gear's comfortable, durable, and named after the real workers in the trades that help design them. You can even try Brunt out on the job, and if it doesn't blow you away, they let you send it back. Save $10 on your first order at bruntworkwear.com/Pats or with coupon code PATS. We'll be right back. Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
With FedEx One Rate, you can ship to your student for a simple, predictable flat rate. Send a box full of home-baked treats that say, "Your father and I miss you." Or send a box full of instant noodles that says, "Your father and I would like you to stop asking us for money." Either way, one rate fits all. FedEx One Rate. 2-day shipping, one flat rate. Starting at $14.50. Visit FedEx.com/OneRate for details. Exclusions apply.
Late for a coffee. How we doing? Hi, Karen.
Hi, Mike.
Happy Labor Day.
Same to you. Can you shed some light on why it made sense to release Jabrill Peppers?
Well, I think that these things, are tough decisions. I think we're just trying to get it right, and got a lot of respect for Jabrill as a person and as a player, and what we felt like was in the best interest of the team at this point was allowing him to have another opportunity elsewhere. There's a lot of things that go into these decisions, and they're never easy, and we're just trying to get it right collectively. And again, I know that there's a personal side and professional side. I talked about that with the players this morning, and whether you agree with it or disagree with it, just try to respect it and move forward and continue to build a team, continue to build a program. And I know Jabrill, will do good things in this league and outside of the field as well. He's a passionate player, and again, got a lot of respect for him.
I feel like in terms of intangibles, he brought a lot of what you'd like to talk about: passion, playing with violence. Was there a scheme fit issue?
No, I don't think that was certainly not not the issue. There's a lot of reasons. I wouldn't say that that's we're going to try to do what's best for the team. We got a lot of different schemes that we can run in all three phases: special teams, offense, and defense. So there's a lot that goes into it. And again, we're just trying to build towards Sunday here, and that's our focus. And again, it's a decision that we had to make, and again, wish the best for Jabrill.
Mike, what is it about Craig Woodson that has allowed you to move on from a veteran piece like Jabrill and all that experience?
Well, I think that his athleticism, I think his range in the field, and the more he plays, I think he'll continue to get better. And that's the hope there with Craig. And we'll see with Hawk and with Doug and obviously Dell working back there now. So just trying to find a role for everybody here.
Have you kind of made a conscious decision to put your imprint on the team? Because a number of guys who've been leaders, like Peppers, Bentley, Cardona, Andrews, Jonathan Jones, Dietrich Wise, they were certainly the leaders. This hasn't been a tremendously successful team, so over the last 2 years. But have you made a conscious decision to kind of, we're going to pivot a little bit from that group of leadership and move to a different?
I don't, never really thought about it in terms of that when we tried to make decisions. Some of those players were free agents. Some of them were currently on the roster. So, I don't think that's ever been a conscious decision. I think we're just trying to evaluate the roster and, provide the pieces that we feel like we need right now.
Just a quick follow on that. Do you see a new core of leaders who are already elevated?
Well, I think that has to happen every year. We voted for captains. We'll inform those guys here before practice. The players voted this morning, so we'll inform those guys before practice. And I think we all know that every year is a new year in this league, and that's kind of how it goes. And so the leadership has to grow from whether it's a captain. We talked about that, not having any restrictions on leadership, and hopefully that at whatever level we have guys that can lead. So we'll have captains, and then we'll have hopefully a lot more leaders as well. Yeah, I wouldn't anticipate him out here today. So hopefully that improves. But he's working hard and trying to improve, and he wants to be out there. And I think this is good for us and for Christian and the team is try not to be frustrated. Obviously, those things happen. And it's how we respond to them. It's how hard we work to get back, the communication, all the things that he's doing. So, just continue to work hard to get back and try to make sure that, we're doing everything we can to help him.
Is there a concern for him on Sunday with the timing, just days?
Well, again, I think that, get him back for practice first, and then we'll have an update and status for Sunday.
Like you mentioned, making an effort not to be frustrated. Is that something either the team or Christian has felt?
No, that's in my own personal experience of, when you're not in there, right? When you're not in there with the team, I guess. And I appreciate you actually clarifying or asking. Those are just things in the course of my career or being a coach and dealing with players that they want to play. They want to be out there, right? So those are, I guess, the things that have tried to talk to all the players about is the time that you're not on the field is how you stay engaged and stay into the meetings and the schedule and just, they all want to play. So again, I think that was just a broad term for things that I would try to focus on when guys aren't out there. That could go for Jelani or anybody else at this point.
How is he building into timelines? Has Christian had a setback at all?
Well, it just hasn't gone, again, he's working hard, and whether it's, again, we could say this one injury is going to be 3 to 4 weeks, one's going to be 1 to 2. Everybody heals differently. So just making sure that when the players are back that they can do their job with confidence, that they can protect themselves on the field, and that they can't make it any worse. Those are some things that I try to use as guidelines for when players are ready to play and get back there.
You talked about it not trying, like the players not trying to get frustrated with this setback. What have you seen from that cornerback room, specifically with the depth you have at that position with Gonzalez?
Well, I think DJ was one of our more improved players over the course of from rookie minicamp, which is, he participated in that as a veteran that had the ability to participate in that till now. AA has done a nice job of going out there and playing corner or playing nickel. Marcus provides a lot of leadership in there. It's been good to have CD string some days together, so it provides opportunity for other guys. We'd love to have Gonzo back. Trust me, we would. But I think the other guys have stepped up and tried to take advantage of the opportunity.
Jalen Hawkins. What makes him a good fit for this defense, for this team, for your scheme?
Well, again, this is not a scheme dependent. You know, I mean, we've run a lot of different schemes. We've had a lot of different players play at different positions for us. I think he's come in, he's played fast, he's communicated, he's tried to play with some, violence around the line of scrimmage, and whether that's on the perimeter passes that we saw in some of the earlier games. I think he's comfortable, and again, the more reps that he's gotten, I think the better he's gotten, and will hopefully perform.
What do you like about Eric Gregory, and why was he a guy that you wanted to claim?
Well, I think you're always looking for young defensive linemen and guys with good size and length and production. So somebody that we had targeted, through the draft process as it got towards the back end of the draft, and whether he was going to be drafted or not. And I think just the personnel department focusing on some of those players at cut down day and having a good list, and some of the players that we were able to add, I'm really excited about working with here. Haven't really been able to work with them since we claimed them Thursday, and then when we added Eric.
And now, great moments in history.
I got the neighbor that burns everything. Plastic, everything.
See, now that is bad.
Yeah, well,
that's even I would say, and I don't care at all about the environment.
Matt,
that's bad.
That must be an awful smell.
It is horrible when he does it.
It's always the guy that burns the leaves too, and it ends up.
I don't mind leaves.
Yeah, but it ends up with like a blaze in the back.
The ashes are coming into my yard though when he's doing that.
Well, you're not supposed to burn leaves. You can burn brush and stuff, but not leaves.
Yeah, but people burn leaves.
I know they burn everything.
They do it.
I got a guy across the street.
It's those dope smokers.
He's got his main driveway, which is paved, but then he's got this back road, which is all dirt. And he keeps putting down wood chips, and every time it rains, the wood chips just drain right out into the street. He doesn't get it. It's like, it's not going to work. How many times are you going to do this? He keeps doing it, and it keeps just running right out.
It's not going to work.
Just keep it dirt or pave it.
He suddenly sounds like Capello.
Yeah, but like first time you look at it and go, oh, that didn't work, and you don't do it again. He keeps doing it.
That's another great moment from Patriots Unfiltered.
All right, back here at Patriots Unfiltered, 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast at patriots.com is the email address. We're talking a little bit on break about last night's.
Yeah, not good, Bob.
Yeah.
Tough debut for Billy Belichick.
Bill, yeah.
Not good, Bob.
They'll get better.
No, they won't.
They'll get better. I think they'll beat Charlotte.
I think they will as well.
Yeah.
But
the
thing that surprised me was how sloppy they looked.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of
forget about the
mistakes.
talent. We knew they were going to be,
Yeah.
they're going to have a hard time competing with good teams because they're not going to have their players yet. But they couldn't execute snaps. Whether it be in the
Turnovers.
shotgun, and special teams were a mess.
Yeah.
Bad, just bad football.
But the other Patriots coach who made his college coaching debut did very well, I thought.
Yeah, 14-7
Matt
win
Patricia,
over the number one ranked team in the country.
Who we should all be thanking. His defense played out. They showed up.
Yeah, I a lot of cut-ups going around of some of the exotics that he was running, like some of the pressures. And
Single-handedly took Arch Manning out of the Heisman talk.
NFL schemes at the collegiate level.
Well, I think it's
a lot of people were talking about that.
It's funny because they're like disguising coverage, and these college quarterbacks are like, "What the heck is going on?" Like you can just see Arch Manning like looking around, and guys are dropping out, and they're spinning the dial, and he's like, "What the heck?" But only teams like Ohio State have the horses to actually execute that type of defense. So that's why you don't see it across all college. But when you have, Caleb Downs and Ohio State's secondary, you can go ahead and do some of those NFL things.
Remember Caleb Downs, Fred.
Okay.
We'll be,
Yeah,
we'll be
I
talking
mentioned
about
his name
him
on purpose.
come
He'll be on the
February or
front
March.
of the envelope.
When Arch Manning has
he's
a
not a
game
back
like
of the
that,
envelope guy.
do the bars of the world, do their heads explode because?
So I would just say that Arch Manning took Arch Manning out of the Heisman conversation, but
Yeah.
I just don't think he played very well.
I think he was in a blender, but I think that those two things go hand in hand.
That's part of being a great quarterback.
Yeah, I saw there were the cut-ups that I was looking at, and I was like, he looks like he knows where he's supposed to go with the ball. He's just not getting it there. The one ball that I would say was in a blender, to Evan's point, was the pick. Like, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you try to throw, like, an over route into, like, bracket cut. There's, like, it was red shirts everywhere. It was one of those defensive team meetings. Someone was going to pick that off. That was a really bad play.
Yeah.
But I just think he was off until the end of the game when they're down 14-0. That drive that he put together to score the touchdown throw was really good. And then he had another throw down the sideline in the next drive that he dropped one in perfect on the sideline, I think, to the tight end for like 30 yards. But then he missed an easy crossing route on 3rd and 5. He knew exactly where his guy was. Best player, it was that speedster there. I forget his name now. That's my problem when I watch these college games. I'm like, oh, that guy's good. And then I forget the names.
Yeah, a lot of Texas's receivers are underclassmen. They had, Golden and
one of their guys
Bond
was hurt, too.
and all those guys go to the NFL. So they have a lot of younger receivers. But it's just Ohio State's one of those schools that has the talent on the defense to actually do some of the things that Patricia was doing. But my guess is that a lot of these offensive minds in college will catch up.
Matty P was really good.
Yeah.
Really good first game.
Does that Alabama head coach finish the season? The Bear?
DeBoer.
DeBoer.
But I will say yes, but I don't think he'll be the coach next year.
Yeah. What Williams,
Kalen
the
Ryan Williams.
The wide receiver for Alabama,
Yeah.
he got hurt. Did he come back in the game?
It was like the second to last play of the game.
Okay.
So I don't think, but I think he got concussed. He hit his head right on the ground.
I watched the play. It didn't look like it was that straight on of a hit. I know
he didn't get hit. That's why they took the targeting away. He hit his head on the ground.
Oh, on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he had a tough game. He did not play well in the game.
Yeah, Williams.
Yeah.
No, nobody. Caden Proctor, their left tackle, is supposed to be a top 10 pick in this upcoming draft, and he got beat by a freshman, like a true freshman. Just was taking
Florida
him behind
State
the
was.
woodshed.
I don't know if you watched much of that game, Freddie. Florida State dominated that game. The last 51, the first 9 minutes, Alabama went down the field. It was like North Carolina last night. It was a long drive. They went down and scored. The rest of the game, Florida State killed them. The game was not as close as the score indicated.
Okay.
I think you look at all these college games, it's just 1 week, but the Patriots stinking in a good quarterback class, I think, is like such a great feeling if you're a Patriots fan, because if I had to sell myself on Arch Manning and Sellers, the kid from South Carolina that played the other day, or Klubnik from Clemson, or Nessmeyer, or any of these guys,
I do like Nessmeyer.
I would be concerned. I'd be like, oh boy.
I know it's just TCO, but Hoover looked pretty good.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's not considered one of those guys that
No.
Evan's talking about. It is supposed to be a strong quarterback class. I don't think Arch Manning's going to come out, but the other guys that Evan's talking about are all, I think Field Yates has 1, 2, 3 right now. I don't see that. I don't see that talent, but I do like Nessmeyer.
Nessmeyer is smart. You can tell that he can think the game, and he can read
There's
defenses.
a Patriots connection there with Nussmeier?
Will Campbell's dating his sister.
That's
I
right.
believe.
Did you know that, Paul?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That to me is not a connection, but I thought you meant like he.
How is
I was
that not
thinking
a
of his.
connection?
I was thinking of his father as like a coach, like.
Will Campbell is dating his sister. That's a connection.
So what?
The family. It'll be like that.
I did not think any of the quarterbacks looked great. The
defense.
Nessmeyer looked
The
probably
defense
the
is
best,
controlled almost all of the games.
Yeah.
Eventually the Miami game, got to like 27-24, but even that game, I thought the defense has controlled most of it. And Beck is another one of those guys that a lot of people think is a first rounder.
I don't like Carson.
Who did throw the ball well? Now they didn't face anybody. Is the kid I don't really think all that much of is Drew Aller from Penn State.
Yeah.
But they played Nevada, and they completely dominated. Side note, Will's friend played.
Oh, yeah? Penn
My
State?
buddy from Bishop Fenwick. Yeah.
When you say played, does he just
He
get
played
some
late in the game.
fill-in snaps to tackle?
Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Okay. Back to the phones we go. 855-PATS 500.
Still kind of cool to see one of your sons.
We
friends
tried
out there
Nolan
playing.
earlier. We'll go back to him. Nolan's in New Hampshire. What's up, Nolan? Nolan. Wow. 2 strikes and you're out. We'll go up to Boston Cream. What's up, Boston Cream?
Could use a Boston Cream.
No more strikes, buddy. It's a home run right now.
Okay.
I got some trivia for Paul, mostly because I've been listening for almost 15 years and I really want a T-shirt.
All right.
It's really hard to stump Paul and be fair, but I did my best here. Paul, you locked and loaded there, buddy?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Here we go.
What was the name of Gillette Stadium before Gillette bought the naming rights?
CMGI Field.
Darn it. Okay.
Oh, come on. I knew that one.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, trust me. They get more difficult. 1994, Drew Bledsoe threw the ball 70 times in a game. Who's the opponent, Paul?
Minnesota.
Oh, come on. Got to get harder than that.
I think Evan would have gotten that.
I know.
Wasn't even born yet.
Okay, I'm not feeling very confident here, but that's okay. Who ended the Patriots?
45 for 70 for 421 and 2 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. Overtime touchdown pass to Kevin Turner, in case you want to know any more about that game.
I think Paul might need an assessment.
I was
He's on the spectrum. This memory is crazy. Okay. Who ended the Patriots' 21-game win streak?
Pittsburgh.
What week and what year?
Week 7 of 04.
I had week 1, but
no, it wasn't week 1.
You could be wrong.
Definitely wasn't
week 1. They were 6-0 when Ty broke his foot.
Wasn't it around Halloween?
Yeah, I thought it was weeks. I thought they were 6-0. Now it could have been week 8. They might have had a bye.
I think
don't remember that.
I think I remember the cover for PFW.
I'm pretty sure that they were 6-0, and they lost at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They got blowed out at Pittsburgh, as Emmett Smith would say.
What happened in the playoffs?
They blew Pittsburgh out. Pittsburgh got blowed out.
They got
41-27.
All right, Boston Cream, you're on the hook here.
This is my last attempt here to stump Paul. In the 2007 season, who is the only team to come within 3 points of defeating the team during the regular season?
I think that's a trick question.
Who was the only team to come within 3 points of?
So Philadelphia lost by 3, but I thought did Baltimore lose by 4 maybe? Okay, yeah, Philadelphia. I'm going to say 31-28.
Okay, I'm starting not to trust my source here. Because
Okay, that might be wrong.
Well, what's your
I
answer?
have the Colts.
Huh?
But it was 24-20 to the Colts. Sorry, I said 3. It was 4 points.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I want to say.
jeez.
I want to say that was an A.J. Feely game for Philadelphia,
Yeah.
31-28.
What was the final score of the
Asante
Giants
Samuel
game?
with a huge. Oh, that was 38-35. That was another 3-point game.
Right.
24-20 Colts is correct. 31-28 Philly. Paul got that one.
So that's why I said it's a trick question, because I thought there were more 3-point games.
Baltimore 27-24 the following week.
Yeah.
38-35 Giants. So
there's
times.
3 3-point games and a 4-point game.
Yeah.
Not every game
I
was
tried.
a blowout.
I can't stump the guy.
Yeah.
Try again.
Okay, Boston Cream. Thanks for the call.
Man, send him a T-shirt anyway, man.
Send the man a T-shirt.
I want to be charitable.
He tried.
Anyone who listened for 15 years, what the hell, right?
Why not? Give him a T-shirt.
All right, we got a ton of emails. A ton of emails.
Why don't you read some?
I will. We'll start with Claudio Teichman, who's writing in from Brazil, I think.
Claudio.
No, yes, he is. He's from Brazil. He says, should the Patriots play with white jerseys on Sunday? Doing so, it forces the Raiders to play with black jerseys. I remember 2010 home opener against the Bengals, we played with white jerseys.
Yeah.
So if it's really sunny,
No, they did that in 2008 too when Tom Brady got hurt. So no thanks.
I don't think it's going to be hot enough for that. This isn't South Florida.
we talk about like regular trivia. If it has to do with anything attire,
All right, I got a good one. I got all right, but what patches were they wearing on Week 1, 2008, when Tom Brady got hurt? Every team in the NFL had a patch on their jersey for Week 1. One team wore the patch the rest of the year, but only one game. Everybody in the team had a patch on there. Do you remember what that patch was?
Let me think now.
Picture Brady, he drops back.
Yeah, 2008.
Oh, he got hit in the knee. They're wearing white jerseys. There's a random big circle patch on them commemorating a certain someone who passed away. His initials, longtime NFL PA, Raider.
Oh, Gene Upshaw.
GU.
Oh, I was going to say Brunt Workwear, but okay.
Yeah, that was always the.
If
that
you
was,
didn't say the labor thing, I would have never got
GU. That was always the Brady, like, whenever I'm watching random NFL highlights and you see, like, a game where the two teams have the goo patch on, I'm like, oh, wait, week 1, 2008.
So
no.
I go to, in 94, they all had the 75th
75,
anniversary.
yeah.
And that, whenever I see those highlights, I'm like, oh, that was from the 94
There you
season.
go, Boston Cream. You could have taken my question. You would have gotten that T-shirt. Well, he got a T-shirt anyway, didn't he? Congratulations. Do we send him to Canada?
Any of you guys watching the Cowboys documentary series on Netflix?
I've got it downloaded. I haven't started it yet.
No.
I have to watch the final one. I watched the first 7. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it's like any other documentary. You have to sort of, I say this all the time, you decide, do I want full access or do I want the unvarnished truth? Generally, you don't get both.
Yeah. Right.
And they have a lot of access.
Yeah.
So I do think Jerry Jones tries to portray himself in a manner in which I would say is a little bit disingenuous.
Yeah.
But it's worth watching.
Oh, okay.
It's worth watching.
I've got it downloaded.
That man loves a press conference.
Oh, yeah.
Watching the Micah Parsons trade press conference, I was like, this is like theater. I couldn't shut it off.
Well, that's the other part of it is it's really true to today because of that. Because when you're watching it and you're like, oh, these things, he went through this 30 years ago. And it's the same thing happening now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was pretty surprised Parsons actually moved. I don't
So
know.
we didn't talk about that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
2
That press
first-round picks
conference
and a
was
defensive
incredible.
tackle. I mean,
Good defensive tackle.
I think it's a good trade. I mean, I think it potentially can be a good trade for both sides. I wouldn't have done it if I were Dallas. I just think he's too good of a player to willingly just
So
hand
you're
over.
saying you would have paid him?
I would have paid him that contract.
Yeah.
I thought that's what they were going to do.
Yeah.
I actually can see both sides of this
I can see both sides.
Because it's a really good haul. I mean, 2 first-round picks is a lot of.
Well, I thought about this Herschel Walker thing. That's what everyone was thinking
Yeah,
about.
but it's nothing compared to that. You know that was 18 players.
I know they got a whole.
There's a part of that trade.
They got a whole.
There's a part of that trade that and again, you get reminded of these details when you watch like a documentary like this. Do you know that they got like 5 players from Minnesota in addition to like, I think it was like 2 or 3 first-round picks or whatever. There was like a handful of picks plus 5 players. But as part of the deal, Ev, you'll love this because I know you don't remember this because, again, you weren't alive.
I don't think I was actually for this one.
They made an agreement. Dallas made an agreement with Minnesota. If any of those players gets released after the season, they will require additional draft picks. So Dallas had no intentions of keeping any of these players. Mike Lynn, who was the GM of the Vikings at the time, said, yeah, you'll keep those players. And he didn't believe him, and he goes, no. And that's how they got all the additional first-round picks.
Right. From that, they got Aikman, right? Didn't they get their big 3?
No, I don't think it
I think
was.
they got Emmitt
no.
Smith.
I think
They
it was
got Emmitt
Emmitt
Smith.
Smith is the only one of the big 3.
Oh,
But they
okay.
have, like, Darren Woodson. I mean, Hall of Fame players.
Okay.
I want to say, like, Darren Woodson, Russell Maryland, guys like that.
Yeah.
The core of their team.
They built their
I think
team.
some of the linemen were part of those. But it ended up being 18 players
But like
for Herschel Walker.
trades like that are obviously
Yeah, you're not gonna
times
ever-
have changed.
You're never going to see something like
right,
that.
right. So I
But
think
I think it's a good haul for Dallas. And I think if you're Green Bay, you're a really good team. You're kind of stuck behind some other really good teams, and maybe this puts you over the top. So I understand what Green Bay's looking at it is like, we're going to be picking from what, 25 to 32-ish? So the 2 first-round picks, no one wants to lose first-round picks, but end of the first round, probably, if everything goes right.
Oh, yeah.
And if somebody told you you're going to hit on a Micah Parsons on one of the next 2 first-round picks, would you take that bet? I mean,
his age helps too. Like he's only 26.
yeah, I mean, these players don't come along often. That's
you
why
don't get a lot of these deals with guys in their prime like that.
And there's like, people want to say like, oh, Brandon Ayuk, or, like, and I know that those are good players and stuff, but there's just like A.J. Brown, Micah Parsons. There's a select handful
like
of guys
Khalil
who are
Mack.
truly
That was
special.
the Khalil Mack trade, and people look at
Yeah.
that and say, well, what did it do for Chicago? Well, it wasn't because of Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good for the Bears for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And he was, I think, only 27 at the time of the
And
trade.
Parsons a better player. than
Better all around,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Dano in Chicago writes in, pumped it's finally game week. Question: does Morgan Moses not being a captain mean they expect Marcus Bryant to overtake him at right tackle in the near future?
I wouldn't look that much into it, but I was surprised that Moses wasn't a captain.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't jump to that conclusion about it being depth chart related. I don't know. So obviously something else related, but
yeah, I was a little
interesting.
surprised too, especially as we've been in the locker room a little bit more, and you see. I don't mean this in a negative connotation. Like he's a little bit of a Pied Piper. Like he seems like he's talking to everybody, and everybody checks in with him. And I saw him like just busting Caden Wallace's chops. You know, it seems like he has those vibes. But I was surprised that he wasn't.
Cody writes in, one elephant in the room for me is, are we getting close to hitting the panic button on whatever is going on with Gonzalez?
I wouldn't hit the panic, really. I mean, I think he's definitely concerned, and it's not ideal, but I still stick with what Paul's kind of saying. Like, I want him for the bulk of the season. I want to end the season well. Like, I don't want to rush him out there and put everything we have to get a week 1 win over the Raiders, and then he's lost for the season. I'd rather have him 100% at the end when you're going to win games and maybe put a nice, whatever it could be, nice finish to the season, whether it's, preventing someone from making the playoffs yourself, just finishing with a couple wins that give you some confidence going into the next offseason.
Okay. A lot of uniform stuff. I guess the rivalries released last week got people thinking. But David Main, a lot of Peppers emails too. I too was surprised by the cutting of Jabrill Peppers. This is David Main. I said that already. My first thought was that Putz Elliott Wolf cut the wrong safety, followed by shock that they couldn't have at least traded him for something. Now I tend to think that they were saving money for someone special. Do you think?
Nuggets.
Yeah, Nuggets. Do you think that they are just budgeting for Gonzalez next year, followed by May, or do they want to have cash at the trade deadline, or maybe both? What do you guys think? By the way, congrats on hiring Claudia. Unfortunately, Claudia is not with us anymore. Claudia was offered and accepted a job with CBS.
Fred outdid himself in his king-making, or in this case, queen-making abilities. It didn't even take a season. It took 2 shows.
2 shows with us, and boom.
Yeah,
maybe
so
it's
she's moving to Florida to work for CBS.
Kind of what I was getting
That's
at.
too bad. I liked her.
They saw her on our show, and
Great
CBS
chemistry.
hired her.
Yeah, it's CBS Network, I believe. She's going to be on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure. I think the HQ show, I think she mentioned to us, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll
That's
be
very
looking out for that.
She seemed like a good kid.
So I'm working on
We're
a
very
new
happy
host.
for her.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Mike, you're up this week.
Ready.
Just me
I'm
and
ready.
you, buddy.
You call me.
We don't need no hosts.
I'm ready.
Hey, we don't want you if you don't want to be part of this show. It's just me and Mike.
By the
We're
way,
going down together, bro.
I got
one to twin powers.
One more quick joke though, like the Jabrill Peppers post where it was like, I've been through 7 different head coaches. Like it felt like somebody be like, I've been through 7 marriages. I know what it takes to make it work. Like I don't know if you're making this better right now.
I know what his point was about the scheme thing, but I do like, I've been through 7 head coaches. I don't think that means what you think it means.
I know, right?
That means you've been around a lot of losing, bro. Right?
I wasn't listening.
The guy's been in the league for 8 or 9 years. He's been with 7 different head coaches. I don't think that's a feather in your cap.
Right.
I think that means you've been around a lot of losing.
Yep.
I mean, he's said it. He's never won a playoff game. He's, I don't know if he's played in a playoff.
Robin,
He's never had a winning season.
Never winning season. Yeah.
True.
See, now
That's tough.
Mike will now take part in that because he's no longer on the Patriots.
I told
Mike
Paul
used to snap back at me when I said that.
Paul texted me. They're like, sorry for your loss, which a few people did while I was on Friday sitting on the beach. Just
I knew what
living
you
my
were
best
doing,
life.
which
I
is
was
why I
like,
didn't belabor it.
I love how he puts that in there. Like I wasn't even paying
Just
attention.
like, I'm like,
Soaking
what?
it up in the hot
that
tub.
stinks. Yeah. But I texted Paul back. It was all downhill after he started wearing the Guardian cap in games. That's when I was out.
It's all about fashion for Deuce. Robin in the Catskills, I've heard different opinions about how Josh is going to use Drake. Will there be design runs for him, or do they not want him to run? Do you think he'll run more or less than last year?
I think there will be more runs by design. I think the goal is to run less overall, but more runs by design. I think in particular, like their low red zone goal line package, I'm very excited to see that come to life because
I agree with everything you just said.
I think there's going to be some cool bells and whistles once they get inside the 5 to punch the ball in that Drake will be involved in.
Little Cam Newton 2020.
Well, you're getting your next email ready, Freddie. I wanted to go back to a couple of emails ago about the Peppers release and this blame for Elliott Wolf. I mean, no one legitimately believes that Elliott Wolf had anything to do with releasing Jabrill Peppers, do they?
I mean, I'm sure he was in on the decision, but it was Vrabel's decision.
Right. I mean, if the head coach, I'm sorry if I'm not being disrespectful to Elliott Wolf, but I think that's a head coach decision.
Yeah, right. The GM isn't going to tell the coach who doesn't fit in his scheme, right?
Right.
Like
Even if it's about scheme, not about scheme, whatever, I want to release this guy.
And it's not about the cap.
It's not about the cap. It's not about anything in the future. They
Saving.
decided, I think Vrabel just wants his guys.
Travis in West Virginia and Josh McDaniels' 2015 offense. Deion Lewis was shot out of a cannon, averaging 7 carries and 7 targets per game through the first 7 games. Can Trevion Henderson approach this same volume right away, or will he need to build up to it?
7 carries? Absolutely can do that.
Yeah.
I just don't think he can be a between the tackles every down back.
I think he's going to touch the ball at least 15 times.
But you want to give him 10 to 15 touches a game? I think he can absolutely.
It's an interesting comp. I mean, Deion Lewis was much smaller, but
more compact.
but was different player, but still just the willingness to give a high volume of carry, not high volume, but a significant volume of carries and touches to a guy that, I mean, it caught up with him, right? I mean, he couldn't stay healthy.
Really
he kept getting
quickly.
hurt,
Yeah, but
he was dynamic for a short
he was
time.
amazing.
in 2015 he was.
that run against Dallas.
incredible.
Remember that one where he was like just ducking under guys and
remember it well.
Yeah. Different players, but similar in terms of usage. I could see that. But Deion Lewis was a pretty high volume back for them.
Vrabel, like Vrabel, there was no Vrabel signed him,
Vrabel
right?
played him over Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Well, did.
Whoops.
It's situationally.
The only brighter flash was
Played him
Jonas
over Derrick
Gray.
Henry. It is what it is.
Remember Jonas Gray for that one game against the Colts?
200 yards.
Yeah.
Jonas Gray's been around a lot. We've gotten
Yeah,
to know
it's been
Jonas
a while.
Gray a
What does
little
he
bit.
do?
I don't know. He's a great guy though.
I can't get him out of my feed.
He's an ambassador of the people.
He's a good guy.
We've gotten to meet him a couple
guy
times.
that kids
He's a
was
cool
like,
guy.
dude, like he gives him
He's
like
always
Jonas
wearing-
Gray. where's
he's
my
always
buddy?"
wearing the ring.
Where do you see him at its when you
just
guys
always
when the
things.
hype guys,
The
right?
hype-
When you're doing your hype machine.
Where have you seen him?
Oh,
I
the
think
I'm sure he's
draft
around.
party.
draft party
Parties,
stuff,
yeah.
and we did a draft party with him, and I think that's where we kind of got to. We
Just
got like a
around
little time
Paul.
in the green room, as they
We-
call it, Paul, in the
You
in the
know,
TV industry.
We hang
Yeah,
with Jonas
interesting.
every
We talk
Paul,
about-
Paul knows green rooms. He spent a
does,
lot
yeah.
of time in green rooms.
I have.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have those at the NBC?
Yes.
Waiting to go on. Like,
Yes,
is there a
the
green
show.
room at your shows, 98.5?
No.
No,
There's
that's
no
a little-
waiting-
on the
little
radio.
side room.
There's no
though.
waiting area?
Little side
Well,
room.
there's different places that you can go, but not.
Yeah. I've
no,
never
it's,
been there.
It's like an office on one side. There's a little small area with a couple of computers.
Yeah.
Where generally the next show kind of congregates.
Yeah.
So like if I'm doing the 10 to 2 show,
Yes.
I'll sit in this little area.
I see.
And there's a couple of computers over there where Tom Morgan and Tyler Milliken, the 2 producers of the 10 to 2 show, they're on their computers
Okay.
getting stuff ready. But I wouldn't call it a green room.
No,
Okay.
No, it's
pretty
more.
cool.
It's like
That's how it works.
a lounge.
That's how it works on a big show.
All right.
The Paul shows.
Joseph in
It's
Hillsboro,
6 a.m.
Oregon.
to 10 a.m. yesterday.
I heard you.
A little different.
Yeah.
You bring
a
the
little
energy.
different.
The
Up
Pepsi's
early.
flowing at like 5:30.
I did have a Celsius, Fred. I had my first ever Celsius.
Got a little bump out of that?
I don't really feel like I
No?
did, but
Really?
That doesn't taste bad though.
No, but how did you not get a bump out of that? Because that's like 10 times more caffeinated
thought a
than Diet
bump was
Pepsi.
I mean,
What kind of bumper?
What kind of bumper we got?
Well, you know, energy bump.
I didn't notice anything, but I don't know. So, you know a little bit about Celsius, right? They're not a sponsor.
Just
I'm
a
not
little
saying,
bit.
I'm not saying anything.
I think
like
they're
that.
owned by Pepsi, aren't they?
Okay, I just don't want to make. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, I
But
don't know.
like, so if you have like 2 of those, you probably shouldn't.
I was going to say F no, but no.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, that's why I was asking.
No.
Because I definitely
Especially
wanted.
our age.
I
Paul.
definitely wanted another one.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
usually in shows I
You
drink,
wanted another one.
Like I drink a lot of Diet Pepsi.
That's true. You eat. That's the thing about you, though. I forget. You don't just have one Diet Pepsi. You have like 10.
No, I've had 2.
So in
the show.
effect, you are having a Celsius.
I'm not
So you're
necessarily
used
having,
to it.
but 10. That's a stretch.
Well, not really.
But I had 1 Celsius. And
Yeah.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice, like, I was waiting to feel like my heart start pounding out of my chest and my eyes, because I don't drink those energy drinks.
Oh
Like-
yeah,
like the
I have
kids. The
half
kids
a
all do
Celsius,
that stuff.
and I feel it.
Yeah. I've never had a Celsius in my whole life.
That was my first.
You should not have. You drink like 3 things of a Dunkin' iced coffee and deuces off the wall.
I know.
So.
He starts doing the little dance.
Yeah. No.
Does the gritty in the
no
the
coffee
bullpen.
today for me. Actually, I did have coffee.
No.
Though. Sorry, I did. I stopped at Dunkin'. I did.
Anyway, Joseph is in Hillsboro, Oregon. He says, when our defense is fully healthy, what 11 do you envision most consistently being on the field in 3rd and long situations?
Yeah, Barmore, Williams,
Chason,
Landry, Spillane, and then
Dime.
Yeah, but like who are the 6?
Landry,
Gonzalez, Davis, Austin, Woodson, Hawkins, Marcus Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I like we're talking about these a lot. I'm not really saying Keon White much. Like I wonder if he's. I mean, he could be in the mix for one of those interior rush spots. You know what I want to bring up though is Barmore because he's been like I don't think anyone talks about this. He's been in and out of practice all summer long. He's missed full joint practices.
Absolutely maintained.
Is he going to step right in on Sunday and play 80%? I find that hard to believe. I find that hard to believe.
You almost never do that opening day anyway.
Yeah,
but especially
he
a
might
guy
have
like that.
He might have like a 3rd down, like because we talk about who's going to start, and I was looking at Barmore and I'm like.
Could be Tonga.
It could be just Tonga and Williams, and then Barmore becomes. But
I'm going to guess Pete Carroll's going to want to do what Evan says that Josh McDaniels is going to want to do, and it's going to be feed Ashton Genty. And if that happens, if that's what they look like they're going to do, Tonga's going to be in there.
Yeah,
So
maybe the new guy too.
It's interesting. You bring up Pete Carroll. We haven't really talked about him, the new head coach of the Raiders. Are the Raiders a well-coached team? I mean, you got Pete Carroll as head coach. You got Chip Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Coaching their offense.
And Patrick Graham.
Graham,
friend. I know you hate that term.
But is that a well-coached team? Like
on paper, sure.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, it'd be really interesting to me to see what Chip does. I mean, it's the first time he's in the NFL in almost a decade. 2016 with the Niners was the last time.
But he's been known to be innovative, right?
He has, but I actually think that he's gone the other way because his offenses really weren't NFL conducive. They weren't really pro style. So, they really slowed down the pace a lot at Ohio State last year and went under center more and, did a lot more pro-style elements to their offense to try to win a national championship. So I think that the offenses that you saw him run like in Philly and in Oregon, that offense is dead. He's kind of gone away from that. So what he does is going to be interesting, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a big unknown about this game. Guy hasn't coached in the NFL in 10 years. It's an unknown for sure.
Ray in Idaho. As the beginning of the regular season is upon us, I'd like to reignite an old argument. The weekly picks need to stay. I love this segment of the show and enjoy hearing your insight on each matchup. Might I suggest one thing to make the pick segment even better? I would love it if you would add a feature to allow listeners to submit their picks and compete with each other as well as with the ball knowers. Maybe there could be a weekly prize for the fans with the best picks and a prize at the end of the season for the overall winner. I think this would make it so much fun to be able to interact and in a small way be part of this show. Plus, I'd love to have bragging rights over fans like Christian in L.A., James Pettigrew, the most interesting Patriots fan in the world, and Patty in Agawam. But how do you do that without really slowing it down?
Well, they could submit them online, but I don't think maybe it's like more like a newsletter thing that where we could show some of the picks of the fans. Like I don't think to your point it would be too slow.
Yeah,
to do it on the show.
But I mean, there might be something there for some type of fan engagement.
Yeah,
like maybe
who are the top 5 fan records?
Oh yeah,
on the
picks. I don't know if any place does full picks though. Like we do it like where you're literally picking all 14, 16 games. And survivor pools are obviously really popular, but that's a different animal. That's a different sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Pat Nagawam, a little listener on listener crime here. He says this is for Travis in West Virginia. Don't ask real football questions because it displays your intelligence or lack thereof. Stick to doing what you do best, crapping on me, the subject matter of the offseason, and being the general malignant turd with incorporeal takes.
Incorporeal?
Yeah.
I don't know that word.
Incorporeal. I don't know. Anyway.
Anyone? You smart. You went to Holy Cross, Mike.
Does Travis crap on? Patty and Agawam a lot?
I don't
think he
even
does.
remember him asking.
I don't
a
even remember what his
question.
football question
Yeah, me
was.
neither.
Was it that dumb?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Still trying to figure out what that word means.
Let's see.
I'll
Zach
ask-
and
I'll
St.
ask
Augustine.
Chris Gasper the next time I see
I
him.
was literally going to make a
Oh.
joke that Claudia will be gone halfway through the season. 2 shows, not even 1 regular season show. That's nuts, Fred. Congratulations to her.
It means not composed of matter, having no material existence.
Wow.
Okay.
That's dark.
I don't hear you unless you knock first.
Darius brings something up that's interesting from Louisville. A little question observation. While everyone is worried about Brock Bowers, my biggest concern will be Ashton Genty. The dude looks like a tank. Deuce can attest to that. And I'm not sold on our run defense yet. Hopefully we'll be able to stop the run and funnel the offense to our defensive strengths, corners and D-line. So what's the deal on Genty? What kind of summer did he have, and should we be worried?
I think it's an interesting, kind of weakness on weakness in some ways, because I don't know if the infrastructure is there with the Raiders right now to really have a great running game in terms of the offensive line and things like that. So I don't know if they necessarily have it set up for him quite yet to be a true, Derrick Henry, like we got to worry about this guy type of thing. The preseason's really, he can't go off much, but he didn't run the ball particularly well in the preseason.
No, and they were, to Evan's point, dead last in rushing last year with a lot of the same offensive linemen. So I don't know how much better, I don't know how many changes they've made on the offensive line. I shouldn't say with a lot of the
I would be
same
more
ones.
worried about them throwing the ball to Genty than
that's what I
him
was
running
gonna
it.
say.
But I do feel like that's a sneaky weakness for this Patriots defense.
Yeah.
Is stopping the run.
Yeah.
I think they're a little bit smaller, a little bit more athletic based. And sometimes those teams can be susceptible to the run, and Genty breaks tackles. That's what he does.
It's a great philosophical question, and one that we've talked about a lot, where you had that old heavy defense for the Patriots that felt like it was built to stop the run, and consistently they had good run defenses, but is it going to work that let's just let them have some of the run? We know we're going to challenge the pass. We know we're going to get after the passer on all 4 downs, all 3 downs. They're going to make some plays. They're going to gash us sometimes, but at the same time, we think we're going to be aggressive enough in the play to offset those plays. I don't know how it's all going to come out in the wash, but it's just really interesting shift in philosophy.
And you guys know how I feel about the running game in general.
Yeah.
If you're a really good running team, that generally means your offense doesn't score a lot.
Right.
And I know there are exceptions, okay? I understand, Baltimore runs the ball really well and they score a ton of points. I get it. But in general terms, if you want to run Ashton Genty, 25 plus times, you're probably going to put the game around, somewhere between 15 and 25. Can you win a game 24-20?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Why not?
No.
Well, I think it also, just like to your point about running the ball, if you don't have a running quarterback, if you're a traditional run team, like we're just going to go under center, the quarterback's going to turn the ball over to the running back, like those teams typically, to Paul's point, are lower scoring. Baltimore does it because Lamar runs. So, that's a different thing. Buffalo, same thing with Josh Allen. So, those are, I don't think Geno Smith is a true threat. Not that he's immobile, but I don't think that he's that.
He's everybody's covered. I'm going to run, not
right.
Yeah, he runs, as a last resort, not undesigned runs.
Yeah.
Eric in Rochester, New York, like every other member of Patriots Nation, can't wait for the full slate of games this Sunday. With that said, I wanted to play a small game, if you will. I'd love for each of you to predict the 2 biggest stories coming out of this Sunday, one Patriots related, one non-Patriots related. That's something you have to kind of think about.
Man.
Right? Off the top of your head.
What do you want the result to be?
Yeah, I mean, what's the biggest story?
Drake May is poised for a monster sophomore season with an incredible first
That'd be a great
performance.
development if that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Come 4:05 when the 3 of us are doing the post game show.
Yeah,
that'd be a great development.
They were the pass rush was excellent. They were all over Geno Smith all game long. He couldn't get anything going. That to me sounds realistic. But
how about Baltimore? Has established, for the league-wide one. Baltimore, I think, plays at Buffalo, right?
Yep.
Baltimore established itself as the front runner for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With an impressive Week 1 win.
Yeah, that seems.
Because I think Baltimore's stacked.
Yeah.
That seems doable.
How much of this game with the Patriots, let me put it this way. because we were talking about the Raiders coaches. We didn't talk about the Raiders owners. Fill in the blank. We'll know that Tom Brady had something to do with this game plan if blank. No.
If Geno Smith arrives with a funny outfit on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say because like it's not. I mean, I guess maybe he could dissect Josh's offense for the Raiders' defensive coaching staff and like reverse engineer things. But that's even feels like a stretch. Like if it was Bill, I think that would be different. But like I don't know how much he knows what Vrabel's really thinking and doing as much.
You know, it was one of my favorite lines from Forza and Foxboro was when Vrabel was with Brady on the sidelines, and Brady was like, I went a little funny with this one, and Vrabel like, listen to this, I'm sure you did. That cracked me up so good. I don't know. It doesn't sound funny. I guess you had to be there, but to me, go watch it.
Those funny conversations are always awkward.
I know. They're always, it was funny when we were watching it because we were like, geez, I was like, Tom's got some jokes tonight. Like, you know, after the inspirational Brady night thing, the statue thing, he came out with the joke. And Ray was like, I'm sure you did.
Don't do that. That's what I would say to
so, I know.
It was a great night, but the roast style speech was...
All right, let me put my other question a different way. Do you think Brady is talking to any of the coaches about the game? Or is he too busy with Fox and... he's not even paying
just
attention?
Don't know. I mean, like, what's he going to tell? Like, how much does he know that they don't know?
I think he could help with the Josh stuff, like Evan said. I just don't know how much he's invested in. I'm like, I know it sounds silly, but he's a minority owner.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
But he's a minority owner who's the greatest quarterback of all time.
But who really does Fox. That's really what his job is.
I know.
So I don't really know how much invested he is in the Raiders right now. I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
If he's heavily invested in the Raiders, I could see him doing what Evan said. Listen, I've been around that offense a long time. You do these three things, and you can really neutralize it.
Right.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much he's involved.
Yeah. I just don't know if that really exists.
Eric also has a question regarding the Patriots fan clubs. What happens to a club if the person running it goes dark? I live in Rochester, New York, and I was trying for a few weeks to get a hold of the person who runs the fan club here, only to find out that they've stopped. Can someone else take over the club, or can there be multiple per city? I know I've heard other Patriots fans from Rochester write in, so I know we're here. I just want to enjoy the games with other like-minded fans in Western New York. I mean, you can take it, or you can just start your own in Rochester. But we need to look into that, because if no one's running that club, we need to get it out of the registry on Patriots.com. And if you want to start a new one in Rochester, New York, just...
Or if he wants to run that one, maybe he wants to take over this existing one.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
I mean, there's members there. I mean, I don't know if there's how the club was run in the past. Like,
probably bylaws.
Elections.
Gotta get elected.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bylaws.
Yeah.
Every club runs its...
like a timeshare.
Yeah.
Damn politics.
Always.
Yeah. Andre says, Paul's the best.
Thanks.
Secondly, how many points do you think the team will average for the season? Over under 25 passes and over under 25 touchdown passes for Drake May. Over on
25
that.
touchdown
And how many
passes.
points per game
Better
will
be.
they average?
How many points per game?
25 and a half.
What did they average last year?
19? I don't know.
Oh, I can tell you.
24.3 points per game.
Sounds right.
Very precise.
That was a Fred answer.
I think last year they averaged... Oh, that can't be right.
I want to say it was like...
That was 16?
I was going to say 16 or
16? So
I mean,
I'm averaging 8 more points per game.
2022,
They
14.1.
Seems ambitious.
Josh is
So
bad.
2024, they had how much?
16 points per game.
That's terrible.
We know.
This
we lived
just
it.
in.
It was horrible.
Oh, and I know they should have won 8 or 9 games, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they were in 2021. They were 27.2. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 2021 is a good offense.
Yeah.
Some outliers,
Yeah.
of course.
Some?
Couple.
Some or 150 in 3 games.
Right.
Good offense.
Right.
Cleveland,
When you
Jacksonville,
do the math
Jets.
like that, I mean, I can see how it's kind of skewed.
Dave in the Philippines, please stop drinking so much diet soda, he says.
Oh,
I used
God.
to do that until I had a stroke. Never touched the stuff since. The chemicals they put in diet soda are worse than sugar for your health. For all of us who want to continue to hear your insights for many years to come, please switch to something better for you. I personally go with water now. That's no fun. All right.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Been hearing that my whole life.
Correct.
I bet.
A lot of concern for Gonzalez. We share that concern, right?
We do.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us have had concern for a while.
Yep. Joel in San Antonio. I'll make this short since we have picks this week and we have to hurry. Question for Paul. Are you familiar with a broadcaster named Dan Weiss? He's a fellow Northeastern University alum. Been working for the Spurs for a while. Was just named radio play-by-play to succeed the great Bill Schoening, who retired after the season ended.
Dan Weiss.
You know Dan Weiss?
I do not know that name.
No?
No.
He got a job without you having a say in it?
You know,
From Northeastern?
there's a lot of people that got jobs without me having a say in it, but I don't. I'm not one of them. I stay here with you.
Okay.
Loyalty.
Pop.
Tim in Boston
I'm with
writes
you now,
in.
Pop.
He says Patriots 21, Raiders 17. We'll get into our picks on Thursday. So
That's okay that they
yeah,
want to
they
put
can
the
do
picks
it.
in early.
He says I got married on Saturday. Congratulations.
Married.
I'm now on my honeymoon, relaxing with my wife on the Cape.
Nice.
And you're sending emails into PU.
Not even I.
Father
did that.
Fred, you are my number one trusted source for restaurant recommendations, especially in Cape. Where can we find the best lobster roll near Hyannis?
Hey, do your spot, Fred.
Near Hyannis.
Captain Parker's. Can you go right in the right in there
No,
on
for
28?
chowder would be good for Captain Parker's. But if you want the best lobster roll, it's a little bit of a hike from Hyannis, but go down to Falmouth area and go to the Raw Bar. They've got the best.
Of course.
Says
They've
Mike.
got the best.
What's right across from Captain Parker's right there on 28? There's
Oh,
two.
the big boat?
Yeah. There's
The
just
guy
like the
from
lobster roll.
GL Barber, his brother-in-law
Yeah.
owns that restaurant.
He owns the restaurant?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's either his brother or brother-in-law owns
Oh.
the rest. It's the Riverside or Riverview.
Something. They're both famous,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like a big boat
Yeah.
restaurant.
There's also the pirate ship museums there, which I would like to hit. I
Yeah.
just recently found out about that.
But lobster roll, I mean, there's a lot of good lobster rolls on the Cape. Don't get me wrong.
Go to Seward Harbor. That's a famous one.
Yeah.
A great location.
Scargo Cafe.
I went to Scargo Cafe on Friday night.
But this place, the Raw Bar, it's in the Falmouth area. It's a little town within.
Oh yeah.
I
They
forget
have
the name of
those.
it. It begins with a P, I think. Papanesset. Yeah, I think it's Papanesset. But look up the Raw Bar if you want the lobster roll. And they got steamers. You can't go wrong.
They got the steamers.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. That's like Joe Murray from the Sports Hub. You know, just ask him like,
Oh, I'm not.
where to go on the Cape.
No,
And,
yeah.
The
He
Raw
knows.
Bar.
He knows North Shore, South Shore. He knows everything.
He knows literally any place you could bring
Western
up.
Mass.
Any place you could bring up, he'll give you at least two.
Yeah.
Like my father.
It's amazing.
All right, quickly. Oh, he's got a lot of trivia questions for Paul. Want to do it real quick?
Real quick, and you got Sam on from Easton on the phone.
All right, we'll go to the phones. We'll go to the phones.
I want that trivia question too, though. Don't
we
leave me
have time.
hanging.
Sam's in Easton. What's up, Sam?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, Sam.
I'm just curious what you guys think the stat line will be for the rookie contributors on Sunday. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'll be there in person, so looking forward to seeing those guys.
Sounds like a daily
Stat
fantasy
lines for the
question.
rookie contributors. First, we have to pencil in
Henderson. I
yeah,
think
who
will be
are the
only
rookie
one that we're talking
contributors?
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henderson, Williams, and I guess you could throw Chisholm in there if you think he's going to play.
I think you'll get nothing.
Yeah,
out of
Chisholm
those
won't
two.
play.
Chisholm won't play. Hard to see Williams doing anything much. Maybe one or two catches if he even gets in. I think Woodson's going to play a lot. I think Campbell and Wilson are going to play a lot.
Oh yeah, I just thought we were talking about the skill guys. Henderson. What did that guy say earlier?
Yeah.
Like 10 to 15 touches.
He
kind
said,
of thing?
well, seven
carries,
yeah.
7 targets. I could see something like that.
In one game?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Borregales and the long snapper? He'll have
You do
Well,
that. You could do
four
that on
What
your
about
own
Kyle
team.
Williams?
snaps.
I was thinking we were doing over under pancakes
Zero.
for Will
I'm
Campbell.
not sure he'll be active.
Okay.
Sounded like a
I don't know.
a daily
I have to
fantasy
find out
question.
more about the overall health of the roster. But there's going to be some guys that are inactive.
Yeah.
And you go in 5 deep at wide receiver. That might be a spot where you might get an inactive.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
Chisholm seems like
If he's still hurt. I mean, I know he's been out there, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
but he's scout teaming it up. I think he's one of your inactives probably.
probably.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a role really on special teams other than as a backup
He's really
returner.
just a returner. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, and it'll be the first day that you have a in-season practice that Evan and Deuce will be attending. Not to say that we're going to glean a lot from that, but at least we might be able to get some attendance going, and we'll see who's out there for that. So that'll happen tomorrow. Mike Vrabel will have a live press conference on Patriots.com tomorrow. When is Catch 22 this week?
Tomorrow, 10 to noon. So right before.
So tomorrow at 10. Is that where you think you're going to be this season?
That's
because
the goal.
A lot of people are, they're all over the place.
That's the goal.
So the schedule's been all over the place in their defense.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
They have to adjust to the actual team,
So
unlike everybody else in this place.
You think you're going to try for Wednesdays at 10?
That's the goal. Is 10 to 12. 11:55 probably.
Okay.
We got the
So you'll
EU
be
coming.
on before our show.
Yes.
And then immediately you're going to go into our show.
For a little bit, but
So a lot of FaceTime for Evan.
But then I have to go to the locker room.
You have to go to the locker room, go to practice. All right. So we're going to end the show the way we began it with that great new song by Jill. We will see you tomorrow. For a loop. He wasn't ready.
Hey, it's a brand new PU season. Don't look now, but Paul's pretty slim. Heaven tied the knot, Deuce got a dog. Fred's trying to find someone to mow his lawn, and Alex is just reading the stars. Alex is just reading the stars. We got a new host for pre and post game shows. Matt's in the booth making everything go. We're all pretty stoked about Vrabel and May, and everybody's still hating on Christian in LA. Hey, it's a brand new PU season. The past give us something to believe in. We're ready for 3 shows a week. It's been too long, and I hope I get a t-shirt for writing this song.
Hey, this is Evan. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure to like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure to follow on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.